The Annie Fry Show is sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Don't freeze as it gets colder. If your furnace isn't working, Air Comfort Service can get you back in your comfort zone fast with a service call for only $99. Get your furnace serviced. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
Annie Fry, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Ray.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
For goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk.
You know, last night we reached a momentous breakthrough in the Middle East, something that people said was never going to be done. We ended the war in Gaza and really, on a much bigger basis, created peace. And I think it's going to be a lasting peace, hopefully an everlasting peace. Peace in the Middle East. We secured the release of all of the remaining hostages, and they should be released on Monday or Tuesday. Getting them is a complicated process. I'd rather not tell you what they have to do to get them. There are places you don't want to be, but we are getting the hostages back on Tuesday, Monday or Tuesday, and that'll be a day of joy. I'm going to try and make a trip over. We're going to try and get over there, and we're working on the timing, the exact timing. We're going to go to Egypt, where we'll have a signing, an additional signing. We've already had a signing representing me, but we're going to have an official signing.
President Trump speaking from the cabinet meeting just moments ago. And if you've been listening to 97.1, you heard Ryan Wiggins break into coverage during the Kill Me show to bring that initial announcement. The president, this is a really big deal for not obviously, okay, yes, it's a big deal for Trump. Yes, it's a big deal for Republicans. But more importantly, in a bipartisan way, this is a big deal for the world to be engaged in the first step towards peace. I'm like trying to ask myself, how long do we need to see peace before I'm like, this might be peace? It's not 5 minutes after the announcement for me.
Yeah, I mean, we got to get the hostages released first before we even start talking about it being a success. Then we can go, okay, now how long does this last? Because you, like everybody else, are going, okay, this is longer than, this is thousands of years of fighting. He's ending it, but for how long? Is he ending it for a day?
Yeah.
Or is he ending it for 3 years?
And the decimation of Hamas as an organization that was controlling Gaza, they are the governing body. They're a terrorist organization, but they were also the governing body. And they were funded by whom? Iran. So the fact that the Iranians have met the full force of the United States military, of course, with the bombing that took place in June, I think it was, this is 100% peace through strength. And I think to myself, we'll have peace as long as America exhibits strength. And obviously, that goes with the political wins of the country. Also, I've seen President Trump meet in Alaska with Vladimir Putin. Everybody was super excited for the political win that was. But we're still watching war and death and bloodshed in Russia and Ukraine. So these are complicated things. The fact that this is part of the conversation is an enormous victory for peace, and yes, being negotiated by Donald Trump. We have Fred Feitz coming on the show with us at 1:30. He's the vice chair of the America First Policy Institute Center for American Security. He's a former NSC chief of staff, CIA analyst, House of Intelligence Committee staff member. He wrote a book called America First Approach to the United States National Security. He knows about these things in a way that I certainly don't, and maybe you aren't an expert as well. And among questions about what this peace deal actually entails, and is this a situation where Hamas has been so decimated that they really have no choice? You know, if they've been brought down to 10% of what they used to be, and the countries that have come together, yes, through mediation with the United States, but Qatar and a lot of these other very influential countries in that region, if they basically went to Hamas and said, listen, you're down to 10% of what you used to be. You're about to be down to 0%. Guess what? Peace is about to break out, and you're going to agree to it. And they've been strong-armed into it. then that still might mean that people aren't being shot, people aren't being held hostage, that people aren't living in fear, that maybe something positive can move from this. I don't know that the definition of peace needs to be anything other than they're not killing each other right now.
No, that's exactly what it is. And the longer that can extend, the better, because you know that it won't be permanent. Everybody knows that this will not be permanent. But how long can you extend it?
I want to I'm going to play this clip here from Marco Rubio from the cabinet meeting, and this is one of the questions that I'm going to ask Mr. Feitz at 1:30 on the show, because obviously the administration is going to puff out their chest. People are a cabinet meeting. It's interesting to me to watch a cabinet meeting because everyone's like, "Oh, Mr. President, like you've done so well. You deserve so much credit."
I love your tie.
Yes, that's the reddest red tie you've ever worn. It's just, its beauty is blinding my eyes.
It matches your lips.
Why are you wearing lipstick, sir? No, he's not. It's not happening. I get it. I get all the theater of it, and I understand why they're doing it. I don't need it. I don't need a round table of people just lauding.
I mean, I'll say this. I'm glad that there are people who are loyal to him in this administration.
Yes. No,
because the last one, you weren't sure.
No, I want every bit of what's happening there. I just don't need it to make me feel good.
Right.
You know, like I feel good about it without that.
I love all the gold that you've put in this office.
Yes. Before I play Marco Rubio, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, on the influence that President Trump has had in negotiating peace, can you imagine Melania Trump sitting here running this meeting?
No.
Jill Biden did.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I didn't know why you asked that question.
I know, it's absurd. It's an absolute absurdity to think that she'd sit down in there and do that. And there are stories coming that would kind of bubble out where Vice President Harris would be late to meetings, like perpetually late. She just had a hard time getting there on time. But it was also, from the rumors, it was a frustration that Jill Biden was running the meetings. I'd be frustrated. I mean, I'm on Kamala's. I'm with her. I'm with Kamala Harris on this
Wear the
one.
hat.
Like, yeah, no kidding. Give me one of those hats. They got to be discounted. I can't imagine watching this meeting where all these people are sitting down and Melania's welcoming everybody to the table. That's crazy. Let's listen to Marco Rubio as he is sitting immediately to President Trump's right to discuss the president's influence on getting this peace deal done.
One day, perhaps the entire story will be told about the events of yesterday, but suffice it to say, it's not an exaggeration that none of it would have been possible without the President of the United States being involved. It really began with your...
I got to interject here. President Trump, I'm going to go back a little bit. President Trump just patted Marco Rubio on the belly. Did you see that?
No, I didn't see
Watch
it. Yeah, go
this.
back.
Oh, it's on his arm.
It really began with your trip
Just
to the
reach
Middle
over and
East,
pats him.
where these relationships were forged with partners in the region, personal relationships, close relationships that created the foundation where all of this was possible. Where I think this really took a turn. Remember, a month ago, no one thought this was possible.
So Marco Rubio lauding the president again for his influence, but I think that's probably accurate. The president, really what I think makes President Trump as effective as he is in these types of negotiations on the foreign relation scale is that he's not asking his party what to do. It's not about, foreign policy really shouldn't be red or blue. It should be red, white, and blue. And President Trump, Joe Biden went by the way of what the Democrat Party wanted him to do. I can think of other Republicans who have been president that they weren't the leader in it. They were the messengers of kind of what Republican politics might be. And maybe that was super hawkish at one time. Because people have accused President Trump being America first as America only. And that is most certainly not true. He has spent an enormous amount of his time in the Oval Office as a mediator for global conflicts. He talks about how he's settled 7 wars, brought peace to 7 wars. And this one is an extension of what happened in his first term. The Abraham Accords offered peace in the Middle East in a way that hadn't been arrived at that point. And he's circling back now and doing it again. Now, and also I'll add too that in conversations with Vladimir Putin, and I can only imagine that President Trump is like, what I really need you to do is go out there and say that you wouldn't have started this war if it weren't for Joe Biden. I don't know that he did that, but if Putin wants to do Trump a solid and go out there and say that, and he did in Alaska, there are a lot of pieces of evidence that point to Joe Biden's lack of strength on the global stage really contributed greatly to people feeling emboldened to start wars. And President Trump, as a leader, is out there negotiating in a way that is bringing peace. And it's like undeniable by people on the left and on the right.
I was trying to, from memory, think of the countries he said were involved in this peace negotiation. And I think it mirrors pretty closely the countries that want to be involved in the Abraham Accords from the first administration. And it was Egypt, Jordan, Saudi Arabia. I don't think Syria was in there. Turkey and Qatar. Those are the main countries he listed today that were part of this negotiation. To me, those are kind of the key ones that want to see peace in the Middle East. And they're negotiating this because they want to see it happen just as much as anybody else does.
Yeah. And, it's the bipartisan reaction to this, seeing Democrats and Republicans alike, seeing networks that are traditionally not exactly favorable to the president, like take, for instance, MSNBC and Morning Joe, lauding the president for his actions and the bravery, the boldness he's had to negotiate peace.
The deal that President Trump is announcing played a key part in negotiating is a significant change. This war was blocked for 2 years. President Biden, who preceded him, was unable to find a way to stop it. President Trump found that way by being tough on both sides. And he'll take a victory lap for sure over the next few days, but it's deserved. There's no way that I can see that this would have been done without Trump's pressure in the final hours.
So that's MSNBC's David Ignatius saying that Donald Trump's going to take a victory lap, and it's well-deserved. So this covers the partisan divide. This is a good thing. We've listened to some of the things in the cabinet meeting that are taking place, and we're going to touch in on those, specifically comments regarding the government shutdown, what the president is doing with tariff revenue that he's taking in to fund women, infant, and children so that the WIC program stays funded. We heard from RFK Jr., who was talking about the dramatic lowering of prices for medications and for drugs, bringing America into the competitive landscape so that when people would go to Europe to pay $15 for some sort of medication, and in the United States you're paying $150 for it, you're paying $15 in Europe, that's going to go up to $20 in Europe, and it's going to go down from $150 in the United States to $20. That if you want to talk about putting money back in the pockets of everyday American people across the board, it's not a partisan thing. The president, by partnering with a Democrat and Bobby Kennedy Jr., has made this an actual reality for all Americans.
This was, so obviously, peace in the Middle East, hopefully, was the big headline from when we opened the remarks at about 11:15, broke into the Brian Kilmeade show to do so. But that was the second thing he said. He said, first, here's the peace deal. Now let's talk about lowering drug prices. And the way, you never know, like specifically, because you're talking about a deal with just Pfizer right now, but he's trying to expand that. And he talked about lowering them in his first term, but it was just barely. And he said it was a win, but it wasn't much. And the way that he's talking about it now, it sounds so much bigger than it did in term one that, I mean, we're all waiting for how is this actually going to affect your pocketbook? But it does sound like they're making major reforms.
Yes.
To the way that you spend money on drugs,
completely,
on prescription drugs,
and it's good because it's an American issue. It's not a MAGA Republican conservative issue. Americans of all stripes need to be able to afford those medications, and it has been a top priority for this administration. So much so that you partner with a Democrat.
Just like the foreign policy stuff we're talking about today. It almost feels weird to say, "Oh, look, Trump did this." I mean, MSNBC was just saying it, so okay, but it's more like, "Oh, this should be something we all just celebrate as Americans. Yeah. This is good. let's give credit where credit is
An
due.
80-20 issue, maybe.
Let's say that.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. Hans von Spakovsky, a senior legal fellow at the Heritage Foundation, is going to join us in a couple minutes from right now, so stick around. We'll have the YouTube live chat poll for today. Does President Trump deserve a Nobel Peace Prize? Everybody's talking about this. I'm asking, how much peace do we need to see before he actually gets one of those? Can he get more than one? I don't know. Yes, not quite yet, no, or I really don't care. Those are the options for you in the Annie Fry YouTube live chat poll. Go vote and leave us your thoughts in a comment. We'd love to feature it. Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Oh, you're sinking like a stone. Carry on. May your past be the sound of your feet upon the ground. Carry on. Carry on, carry on.
TheDiamondShop.net is the website for you to go sign up to become a VIP at the Diamond Shop. They're located in Clayton, Illinois. Clayton, Illinois. Where's Clayton, Illinois? Clayton, Missouri.
Let me see if that's on the map.
It's probably.
Somebody's making a long drive right now.
45 people in north central Illinois. No, Clayton, Missouri, of course. I know that. You know that. They've been in St. Louis since 1910, and they have a beautiful shop right there in Clayton for you to walk in and just browse. If you're not ready to make a purchase, go in and get to know the people at the Diamond Shop. Tell them what you're looking for. Open up right away with your budget. Be very open and honest about that. They're going to love the opportunity to earn your business and work to get something that fits your budget. And a reminder, if you do sign up to become a VIP, they often have discounts and specials, maybe a little extra gift or whatever that goes along with that VIP status. They don't just sell jewelry, and boy, do they sell beautiful jewelry. They do custom jewelry and watch repair, appraisals. They also buy gold. And if you're looking for something special for somebody, they do 6 months, same as cash financing. Make sure that you can afford what you're looking for. And again, like I said, work within that budget. Become a VIP or visit them in Clayton at thediamondshop.net.
If you're thinking about replacing your windows before winter hits, which is smart, don't keep making the same mistake. Stop replacing your failing vinyl windows on your home now with more vinyl. Lakeside Renovation and Design will install Infinity from Marvin fiberglass windows. They're built to last, they're energy efficient, plus they look stunning, and they're custom built for your home. Installed by Lakeside's expert team, and they're going to offer a lifetime workmanship warranty. If you're ready to upgrade your windows once and for all, you need to visit windowsbylakeside.com. Schedule your free consultation today.
Hi, I'm Bob Kershaw with Retirement Advisory Group. Are you worried about market volatility? Are you concerned your money won't last you through retirement?
Hi, I'm Tammy Kershaw, and as a family-owned business, we are committed to protecting your retirement, whether you're nearing retirement or already retired. We have a lot of folks that aren't aware of all the new investment choices that are available, which give you growth and protection from losses at the same time. Are you aware of all the fees that you are currently paying? We can show you how to avoid those fees. So come in now for your free retirement review and get a second opinion on your retirement plan. And just for coming in, you'll get a copy of our latest edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. Let us show you how to retire with confidence.
We are proud to say we haven't lost a penny of our clients' money in 39 years, and we won't lose a penny of yours either. Let our family help your family. Call us now at 314-993-9494 or go online to retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
Mark Cox here. Let me introduce you to my friends at the Lit Cigar Lounge in St. Louis, where luxury meets comfort. Premium hand-rolled cigars, an extensive selection of rare bourbons and whiskeys and craft cocktails. It's comfortable for non-smokers, too. They have a state-of-the-art ventilation system. They have private lockers and live music every Friday night, perfect for date nights or business meetings or just winding down. Visit litstl.com.
Sponsored by Progressive. We make the claims process easy so you can get back on the road in no time. It's why over 43 million drivers trust Progressive. See for yourself at progressive.com.
This is the Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today.
I want to. Just arresting the violent criminals we can see in the streets. Fighting crime is more than just getting the bad guy off the streets. It's breaking down the organization brick by brick. Just like we did with cartels, we're going to take the same approach, President Trump, with Antifa. Destroy the entire organization from top to bottom. We're going to take them apart. Thanks to your bold leadership and the designation of Antifa as a terrorist organization, which is exactly what they are, Americans will no longer tolerate their unhinged violence.
We the people of the United States,
More perfect.
your form of our perfect union.
Heritage legal expert Hans von Spakovsky.
Hans, welcome back to the show. Happy Thursday. Good to have you back.
Well, thanks for having me back.
The reinstilling a sense of law and order in the country has been something that has been paramount to the president in his first term, but then, of course, his campaign going into the second term. What do you think about the way he is addressing a lot of it can become riotous, that's for sure, in our streets right now. The opposition will show up on the far, far, far progressive left with riots, and Antifa seems to have had room to destroy. That's what the Baltimore mayor said years ago when they were going through the Freddie Gray protests. What do you have to say about the president's commitment to reinstate law and order?
It's about time. I mean, think about the summer of rage when the riots, violence, arson was going on in cities across the country. And what did the U.S. Justice Department do about it? Almost nothing. Almost nothing. Almost no prosecutions, no investigation of who was funding this. This should have happened years ago. The Biden administration ignored it. In fact, the liberals in that administration pretty much supported Antifa and organizations like that. So finally, something is being done about it. And, the key thing not only involves the FBI, which means, look, what the FBI and other federal law enforcement agencies like ATF can do is identify the members, their associates, their leaders. And the Treasury Department then needs to get involved. Because what does the Treasury Department do? Well, they have a whole financial crimes enforcement network that can investigate possible financial crimes that are being committed and identify who the funders of this are. Because if you are funding a terrorist organization, you are committing a criminal violation of federal law.
Ugh, man, you get to the follow the money part of this. It doesn't seem to me that Antifa can be as present and effective as they are if we don't continue to see the box trucks show up that open up and then all of the signs come out. And, we've seen pallets of bricks being delivered in the area where riots eventually show up. Where this stuff has to come from somewhere, and they're not getting it for free.
No, they're not. And it's clearly coming from the direct funding of these organizations. By the way, that's why, I don't know if you saw this, but a week or so ago, I published an article in the Federalist, along with two of my colleagues, saying that any organization that is paying protesters and is receiving funding from foreign government and foreign nationals, that has to be disclosed, if not banned, because I have no doubt, for example, that there are some of these organizations that are engaged in this kind of bad behavior who are getting money from communist China, potentially from Hamas and other antagonistic and hostile foreign governments.
Here's a question. One step further on that, the question about foreign dollars coming in to help fund the civil unrest through, groups like Antifa. Is it possible, Hans, that any of the money going in to fund those groups come from American taxpayer dollars funded through NGOs, USAID, any of that stuff. I hear people discussing that. Is it possible that American taxpayer dollars have found their way through a series of being handed from one person to the next into these protests?
Absolutely, yes. And that's why the terrorism designation by the president is so important, because that gives the authority to offices within the government like the Treasury Department to go in and start tracing the funding that they get. And look, I'll tell you, they're very good at that. Those offices that specialize that within Treasury have been doing that for a long time to go after international terrorist groups, where tracing that money is even harder than it is domestically. So that's a key element of the new strategy to, frankly, break up these domestic terrorist groups like Antifa. And look, this is not an issue of First Amendment rights and the government not liking what these groups are saying. We are talking purely about an organization like Antifa that foments terrorist actions, violence, mobs, etc. That is not the same as peaceful civil discourse or even peaceful protests about an issue.
I feel like the president and this administration, I feel like they have the resolve to follow the money all the way. And if they follow it and they get to a dead end, maybe they get to a dead end. But the expectations that I think the voters had when they sent this president into the Oval Office, really the unrest that has happened in our streets. We're in St. Louis here, and we saw what happened in Ferguson. And since Ferguson, Missouri, there have been many situations where lawless chaos just ensues, and you really don't know how it's going to end. It just seems to perpetuate and go on and on and on. When the people are funded and when they're upset enough, we tolerate it. And none of that would be necessary if it were being funded by grassroots, if it were being funded, if people were showing up there of their own accord because they were, individually that upset about a particular issue, that'd be one thing. But if it's the AstroTurf variety where money is being injected in and people are being paid to show up, you're telling me that a First Amendment application, especially when violence is committed, we're not talking about the same things.
No, we're not. And look, this has gone on in a lot of places, but there are also places where it has not gone on. And those places where it has not happened tend to be, frankly, many red states where the governors, for example, have said, we're not going to tolerate this. And the moment it starts to happen, they've sent in law enforcement to prevent it. And that's why you don't see that kind of thing going on in places like Texas as opposed to Chicago. I mean, there have been ICE agents and ICE detention centers attacked in Texas, for example, but state and federal and local law enforcement have all worked together to immediately stop anything like that. You have not seen the kind of mob violence against ICE agents in places like Texas that you've seen in L.A., Chicago, Portland, and those cities. And why is that? Well, because their local and state authorities not only tolerate it, but they help instigate it and support it.
Hans von Spakovsky speaking with us right now, senior legal fellow at the Heritage Foundation. You are a constitutional expert, and I want to shift and ask you one more thing about a different topic before I let you go. Specifically, sure. The government shutdown. I want you to give us a little constitutional quick lesson here about what needs to happen in the Senate, because Chuck Schumer is not playing ball with the Republicans, that he's trying to strong arm some negotiations that could completely happen in the budget process after the CR is passed. But I keep hearing people say, Republicans, why don't you use the nuclear option to get this done? You did it to approve some of President Trump's appointees. So talk to me about the number 60 and the nuclear option, that is in front of Republicans and why they should or should not consider using it?
Well, what they're talking about is that in the Senate, you have the ability to filibuster or extend debate on a particular bill that is being discussed. And it takes 60 votes of the Senate to end a filibuster. In other words, it takes 60 votes to say we are going to end debate on this particular bill and proceed to a vote. Because the whole point is that you don't have a vote until the debate ends, the discussion and debate ends. They have changed those rules with regard to certain nominations to prevent filibustering of different nominations. And their discussion is to do the same thing, change the rule on filibusters to say that it cannot apply to an appropriations or budget bill. And so far, Senator Thune and the Republicans have not agreed to do that.
So, Hans, when you say that they have to have 60 votes to end debate, if they were to get to 60 votes, how many votes? So they vote to end debate and then they vote on the bill?
And then they vote on the bill, and then it's a simple majority.
So you only need a simple majority. So there are Democrats who could vote to end debate that could still vote against the CR.
Correct. Right. Absolutely. Absolutely right.
All right. I love those little constitutional lessons that you give us. Hans von Spakovsky is the man to go to when you need a pocket constitution. I know this. Hans, we appreciate you so much. There's always more to talk about. We look forward to having you back again soon. We always thank you for your advice and your expertise.
Well, thanks a lot, and I hope everybody has a nice weekend.
We will. Bye-bye. Peace in the Middle East. That's a good way to start a weekend. Hans von Spakovsky there. He is a constitutional scholar, senior legal fellow, Heritage Foundation, and a former FEC commissioner and DOJ lawyer. Quick break. When we come back, we'll get an update on a little bit more of what's happened at that cabinet meeting and the YouTube live chat poll. Quick chat on that. Does President Trump deserve a Nobel Peace Prize? 4 options for you today regarding a Nobel Peace Prize for the president. Yes, not quite yet, no, or I really don't care. I'm curious how many people don't care. I think I said a couple months ago that I really don't care. I don't know if that's still my answer. We'll have to talk about it. We'll be right back.
Are melting away.
Lisa?
I'll make a brand new start of it in old New York.
When you go shopping, you may not get the bargain you want, but at least you know and can compare prices. It should be that way with healthcare, but too often it's not. Need an operation on your knee? Want to know what it's going to cost? Good luck. For 3 years, hospitals have been required to provide patients with list prices and have negotiated charges for some 300 services. Just over a third are fully compliant. In Missouri, prices differ greatly depending on a patient's insurance. The cost of a pelvic CT scan, for example, can be 20 times more expensive in one hospital than another. Price transparency allows patients to compare providers, forces hospitals to compete on price, and helps insurers negotiate lower rates. State law should require all healthcare providers to publish prices in a user-friendly form. What we don't know is costing us. The price of healthcare shouldn't be a secret. Check out our 2025 blueprint, Moving Missouri Forward at ShowMeInstitute.org. The Show Me Minute has been brought to you by Show Me Institute and Show Me Opportunity.
Lutheran Elementary School in the bi-state area, 34 of them, waiting for you to learn a little bit about what they offer. LisaSTL.org, that's the website to go, and you can skip what I'm talking about right now and just do the research for yourself. Lutheran schools offer you a comfortable place that you can confidently turn your child over to the educators there, the atmosphere there, the families that you're sharing a classroom with. This is what you've been wanting, because if you've got your kid in a public school right now, not every public school district is a bad district. Not everybody's trying to escape public school, but I know a lot of you are concerned about the things that are creeping into your child's classroom. You have to monitor it so incredibly closely. You just want to know what your options are, but you still want them to be able to have the opportunities that they have at public school, like sports, like music, like robotics, and special education opportunities. IEP acknowledgement, all of these types of things. Well, guess what? A Lutheran school might be the solution for you. Parents and grandparents, if this sounds like something that you'd be interested in for your children or your grandchildren, I will remind you that they offer tuition assistance as well. Learn more at lisastl.org.
Why do the national tax resolution firms need the tiny fine print at the bottom of all their TV ads? Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. You don't hear fast-talking disclaimers in our ads because the claims we make are 100% transparent. The Lance Drury Law Firm primarily focuses on one thing, IRS problems, and we're regulated by the Bar Association, and we have a AAA rating with the Better Business Bureau. IRS issues are serious legal issues. The Lance Drury Law Firm has helped thousands of clients navigate the best resolution plans, and we tell you up front exactly how much it'll cost. Tax resolution law is all we do. So before you send money to some out-of-town, high-pressure salesperson, give us a call at the Lance Drury Law Firm, located right here in St. Louis. Call today to schedule your free consultation with me, 314-260-6120, or visit LanceDruryLaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
The YouTube live chat poll today is, does President Trump deserve a Nobel Peace Prize? There are a few options here, and one of them is not quite yet. Officer Gary says, not quite yet. If all the peace deals Trump brokered last until his term is over, the NPP could be awarded, as this is the cherry on top of his administration, but he wants to wait. So what do you think? 12:39 right now. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Bold takes, real talk, no apologies. 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Happiness hit her like a train on a track. Coming towards her, stuck still, no turning back. She hid around corners and she hid under beds. She killed it with kisses, and from it she fled. With every bubble she sank with a drink and washed it away down.
What role did President Trump play? Were there moments that it was going to go off the rails, and how did President Trump intervene? What role did he play?
Well, I think that President Trump was brilliant taking Hamas answer. When I read it for the first time, I thought, well, it's not really an acceptance. But he took it and not only seized an opportunity, but created an opportunity by saying, well, it's positive, let's build from there. And eventually it works. So I really think he made a huge...
Last Friday, when Hamas agreed, and it sounded like it was Hamas saying, yes, but... And what did President Trump do at that point?
Well, I think the fact that he looked at it as a positive response, okay, and let's see how we implement, brought us to this point. So I think it was brilliant.
I think it was brilliant. That's Gideon Sa'ar, Israeli foreign minister, talking about the president's influence on this peace deal that they have talked about, that they've brokered. It is looking very good. But we're at the beginning of it. So we'll wait and see how much peace can we get through before it falls apart. They seem more confident this time. I don't hear as much couching on what this peace deal actually needs to materialize. It seems as though they've gotten to it. Our poll question for today for you, we'd love for you to come join us on the Annie Fry YouTube channel. Come say hi. So if you go to youtube.com, just type in Annie Fry, F-R-E-Y. You'll see that we're broadcasting live right now. You can also go to youtube.com/@AnnieFry, but I don't know if that's too complicated. In the live chat, so we have a show-long conversation with, tens of people, 100 people or so every day. And we're asking you today, does the President Trump deserve a Nobel Peace Prize? Yes, not quite yet, no, or I really don't care. Ryan, you got an answer for this one today?
Yeah, I'm kind of split, though, between yes and I really don't care. I would like to see that, but I also don't really put a lot of stock in the Nobel Peace Prize because of the way that it's handled. It's such a political thing that I don't really expect much. So, like, yeah, here's the thing. If they actually do acknowledge Trump, then Trump might be more deserving of it than any human in history. Because he'd have to get over a lot of baggage to get there.
Like, imagine what he had to do in order to achieve that type of an accolade from those people. I'm going to share this right now because this just, I saw this last night and I chuckled. Questions on whether or not the president deserves the Nobel Peace Prize. I don't know that it doesn't matter. Peace is what matters. That's the scoreboard. But should he get it? Yes. Well, yesterday, ABC News, this is this morning, October 9th, posted at 7:37 a.m., ABC News tweeted this. On this day in 2009, President Barack Obama won the Nobel Peace Prize for what the Norwegian Nobel Committee called, quote, his extraordinary efforts to strengthen international diplomacy and cooperation between peoples.
He made us feel good. Yay.
Listen, folks, on this day in 2009, he'd been in the White House for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, but he made us feel good.
Would you stop saying us? I'm not down with that. That's what the President Obama was acknowledged. He came in to the Oval Office. He sneezed, he slept, he won a Nobel Peace Prize. It's like I came, I saw, I conquered.
He partied with Spielberg. He met Bruce Springsteen. And then he got a Nobel Peace Prize. And it was all deserved.
So I just, when we're talking about the Nobel Peace Prize, when that is how one gets one, do you feel like, gosh, I'd like some of that action?
Well, no, but it just shows that what you have to do if you're of the right political persuasion is nothing, which again means that if you are Donald Trump, not only are you of the wrong political persuasion for them, but you are the most hated person on the planet. So if they give him one, they got to be grinding their teeth while they do it, but having to acknowledge this is why we exist, and you did it.
No way to measure it. You said Trump being the most hated person. Like, if you could measure collective individuals' hate, you'd have to have like a quantity. You have to be able to quantify that. But also their love and affection. I bet he lands somewhere around 50% on the whole, globally.
Like among every person on the planet.
That would know him and have an opinion on him. You know what? Actually, I think at this point, he'd probably be in the favored side of the equation.
I do too.
Yeah. Maybe not like 100%, which is where he would want it to be.
Yeah.
I want everybody to love me. But I certainly think that for as many people who are enraged at the sight of him, that the overall sentiment has swung enough to where people willing to tolerate him because why he negotiates peace in the Middle East and stuff like that, he's lowering medication prices and so on and so forth, that the Democrat Party has abandoned people and made them consider the opportunity to tolerate him. I also think, before we go to a break, that RFK Jr. has an opportunity to do the funniest thing ever, which is to, in partnership with Dr. Oz, make Trump derangement syndrome an actual diagnosis.
He won't do that.
Might do it on his last day.
Okay.
And then he'll be like, after doing this, it will prove my point. How does one react to the made official diagnosis of TDS? If you hate Trump that much and you find out that he's got to do it. It's got to happen.
Yeah, the reaction would be with vitriol and mouth froth.
Oh, gross.
I just think that the TikTok videos would be popcorn worthy.
That's a day I
Can you
want to come.
imagine that this man made Trump derangement syndrome an actual diagnosis? I don't even know what to do with myself anymore. Go see a therapist. Get a diagnosis.
I'm getting the 18th booster. That's what some of them will do.
Correlation of boosters to TDS diagnoses?
18.
Correlation does not imply causation. YouTube live chat poll: does President Trump deserve a Nobel Peace Prize? Tell us what you think on the Annie Fry live chat, and stick around because we're going to dip a little bit more into 25 years ago. What did the Democrat platform look like? It's crazy because it looks like a Trump voter wrote it. Al Gore's 2000 Democratic platform, DNC. Ryan Wiggins brings us back. More of those details next. Don't go away.
Join us October 23rd at Lit Cigar Lounge and celebrate 25 years with drinks from Lore Wine and Spirits, Old Dominic Distillery, and Rayburn Wines, plus live music by Pretty Weeds and food from Napoli Bros. Reservations at 971talk.com. Presented by Rhino Shield and U.S. Men's Medical Center.
When you work with a home improvement company, you want to make sure they are recognized as one of the best. Mark Cox here from my friends at Chesterfield Fence and Deck. They just received the Big 50 Award. That's featured in Remodeling Magazine to honor the top 50 remodelers in the country, to recognize the industry's best and brightest. Now, a little bit about Chesterfield Fence. They've been around for 56 years, since 1968. Under the same ownership. You're invited to their showroom in the Chesterfield Valley, or they'll be happy to come to your house, give you a free in-home estimate at absolutely no obligation. If you want a new pergola, you want a new sunroom, of course, the fences and decks that they have are outstanding, and they will design them to your specifications in your backyard. Now, right now, mention Mark Cox, get a special discount of 20% off your next outdoor project with Chesterfield Fence and Deck. Check them out online and tell them Mark sent you. It's chesterfieldfence.com.
You hear that? That's the sound of your business losing money. Legacy phone systems weren't built for today's teams. Quo, formerly OpenPhone, gives your business a smarter way to stay connected. Quo lets you manage calls, texts, voicemail, and contacts all in one place so that you can deliver a seamless customer experience from ring to... Need to take calls on the go? Quo automatically transcribes, summarizes, and highlights next steps from every call, so you never miss a detail. Need insight into what closes a sale? With Quo's AI call tags, you can instantly spot key topics like objections or pricing questions, and use those insights to level up every customer interaction. And yes, you can bring your existing number with you for free. Keep your team in sync and your customers happy with Quo. Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/free and get 20% off your first 6 months. That's quo.com/free. QUO.com/free.
Attention St. Louis Medicaid members. If you need assistance with daily living, you can receive a free service from Freedom Care in your own home from a loved one who lives with you. With Freedom Care, you decide who provides your daily care, helping you with preparing meals, bathing, laundry, transportation, and more.
A family member or friend that gets paid weekly. This Medicaid program is available to eligible St. Louis residents.
New to Medicaid? The Freedom Care family will guide you through enrollment, making it stress-free for patients and caregivers. With over 7,000 five-star Google reviews, we've perfected at-home care for Medicaid members and caregivers. If you live in the St. Louis area,
this service is available through Medicaid, and with our InstaPay app, caregivers can choose to get paid weekly. So go to freedomcare.com now, or for faster service, call 314-697-4912. 314-697-4912. That's 314-697-4912.
Freedom Care, we're here for you.
Family focused, faith filled, always on point. It's the Annie Fry Show.
Wiggins!
Oh, Wiggins!
This is part 3 of our 3-part series, The Democrat Platform of 2000, comparing it to the modern Democrat Party. If you like this series, you can tune into the podcast and get the last couple days, but this will be the last of the installments. Okay, back to it. I'm going through some subheads here of the party platform of 2000, and I noticed there was one called Fighting Crime. not think fighting crime is a part of the modern Democrat Party, but it was in 2000. Here's what they said. Democrats believe government's most basic duty is to establish law, order, and freedom and keep citizens safe from crime.
Law and order.
Seems pretty basic. It says when crime is rampant, families are forced off the streets and behind closed doors. When children are ducking for cover, they have a hard time reaching their dreams. When people are afraid to walk in their own neighborhood,
like DC,
might be. People are afraid to walk in their own neighborhood. Communities, are robbed of the basic sense of decency and togetherness. When an overburdened justice system lets thugs off easy, good parents have a harder time teaching their children right from wrong. Are we shocked? We shouldn't be.
It really is. What are we doing here? It really is interesting to listen to what the Democrats were offering the American people in 2000, and it's just common sense. It's a version of common sense. Now, a lot of these things that they're talking about, like, okay, law and order and stuff, the question will be like, how do you fund it? And what do you, like, they've identified a lot of problems that we all agree on. And that's kind of the way politics used to be. We could all point at something and say, we have to fix this problem. And then it was DC's responsibility to argue over how to solve that problem. And a lot of times Democrats would say, we need to have more law and order. I would imagine in 2000 it might be funding of police, because before 2020 and George Floyd, maybe even going back to 2014, the way that police officers and law enforcement have been treated over the last 10 plus years, they used to vote more blue. Police officers, law enforcement used to be more of a reliable Democrat vote than Republicans. And I would imagine that this Democrat Party, they've made it very clear they don't really want anything to do with law enforcement.
Right. Yeah, that's why they've switched parties. How about fighting? I'll burn through a couple of these. Fighting the scourge of drugs and gangs. We should send a strong message to every American child. Drugs are wrong, and drugs can kill you.
Is this where they provide clean syringes and safe spaces to inject themselves?
Oh, no. It says we need to dry up drug demand.
Oh.
Hold up drugs at the border.
Oh.
These people.
Right? And break up drug rings that are spreading poison on our streets. Check this one out. This is a full subhead in the Democrat Party platform of 2000. Fatherhood. Promoting responsible fatherhood is the critical next phase of welfare reform and one of the most important things we can do to reduce child poverty. Building one America. Democrats believe God has given the people of our nation not only a chance, but a mission to prove men and women throughout this world that people of different racial and ethnic backgrounds of all faiths and creeds can not only work and live together, but can enrich and ennoble both themselves and our purpose. I just thought, oh, they're talking about God openly in their party platform here.
And investing in fatherhood.
The
fatherhood, the lack of fathers in homes epidemic is really at the foundation of a lot of our problems.
And they specifically said as a means to welfare reform. Really quick here. Welcoming our newest Americans. We believe a major expansion of the Border Patrol and curbs on abuses of the asylum processes is in order. We also recognize that the current system fails to effectively control illegal immigration, has serious adverse impacts on state and local services and on many communities and workers, and has led to an alarming number of deaths of migrants on the border. Democrats are committed to re-examining and fixing these failed policies at the border. I kid you not, these are in the party platform.
2000. Democrat Party platform in the year 2000.
They go on to address H-1B visa abuses, American workers who are being overtaken by immigrant workers. They go on and on and on, and you wouldn't believe it's Democrats.
You wouldn't. No, Democrats wouldn't believe it's Democrats. And I don't think today's Democrats would vote for those Democrats either. It's very Trumpian. Very common sense.
Democrats understand we must engage former enemies. This administration's efforts to design new relationships with the Russian Federation and China have been continuously subjected to every form.
I can see Russia from my house. Congressman Eric Burlison next. Don't go away.
I feel so unsure.
Join us for our annual Trade Day sale. Hook up your camper and join us Thursday through Sunday, October 9th through the 11th at both of our locations at 9001 Dunn Road in Hazelwood or 971 Wilmer Road in Wentzville for barbecue, beverages, and a free trade evaluation. We guarantee at least $1,000 over the national average for your trade-in with purchase of any new RV. Your trade will never be worth more than it is today. We will have fall festivities going on all weekend. Don't miss the fun and spooky good savings. Check out all of our new 2025 and 2026 RVs by Jayco, Keystone, Fleetwood, and Bontrager Outdoors. Mention this 97.1 ad for a chance to win a $500 gift certificate to our parts store. For 3 years in a row, we have won the best RV dealer at St. Louis Post-Dispatch Headliners. And we are your #1 Jayco fifth wheel dealer in the country. Our commitment to you starts when you enter the door. Go one better. Go Apache Village RV in Hazelwood and in Wentzville, October 9th through 11th. Trade value dependent upon condition of trade unit at time of delivery.
HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com. You give them a call at 314-227-9636. That's 314-227-9636. And invite Home Shield Foundation Repair and their owner, Matt Hayes, out to your house to check about your wet basement. So you're going to invite them out, call them, have them come look at it. They can see what you're dealing with there. What's the first step in basement waterproofing when you work with Home Shield Foundation Repair? They create a comprehensive inspection of your basement. So they don't come in with some predetermined solution for you because they don't know what your problem is quite yet. They have experts that will carefully assess the condition of your foundation, the walls in your basement, the floor. They can identify any existing water issues and potential risk. The thorough inspection gives them the ability to determine what the best tailored waterproofing solution is for you. Home Shield Foundation Repair and owner Matt Hayes, call them at 314-227-9636. Online at HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-500-5000.
That's 314-500-5000.
All on the free Odyssey app.
Just a few steps away from peace. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. The Israeli cabinet taking up phase plan that would end the war in Gaza. But even before the vote, there's relief in both Israel and Gaza.
Overnight celebrations erupted in Hostage Square in Tel Aviv as Israelis processed the news that all of the remaining hostages held by Hamas will be released in the days ahead.
Fox's Trey Yingst in Tel Aviv, and President Trump is hopeful the rest of the deal will happen and lead to lasting peace.
And I think it'll take place, and I think you're going to end up with peace in the Middle East. But we have to get our hostages back. And we weren't going to do it at the end. We're going to do it at the beginning.
Fox's Jared Halpern has more from the White House.
Months of shuttle diplomacy by American diplomats helped secure a ceasefire between Hamas and Israel in Gaza that will see hostages released in a matter of days and Israel gradually withdraw from the war-torn territory.
But at some point, that whole thing has to stop. And we're going to see to it. Gaza is going to be slowly redone. You have tremendous wealth in that part of the world.
President Trump says he intends to travel to the region in the coming days.
The president speaking during a cabinet meeting, also telling reporters Democrats have lost their way as a government shutdown continues.
Independent Angus King is one of 3 senators who caucus with Democrats who support moving a stopgap measure forward that would reopen the government until November.
A shutdown gives this administration more license to do harm than they had before.
The measure failing to get the 60 votes needed to break a filibuster for the 7th time. Democrats are holding firm on wanting that should be an issue negotiated separately.
Fox's Ryan Schmelz on Capitol Hill. A House-passed Republican short-term spending bill also failing again today in the Senate. America is listening to Fox News.
Hear that? That's Mike. He took ZzzQuil Pure Z's, so now he's sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. ZzzQuil Pure Z's are fast-acting melatonin gummies with a complementary botanical blend to help Mike get the sleep he needs to wake up refreshed and ready to conquer Monday.
Let's do this Monday.
ZzzQuil Pure Z's, just for sleep. Really great sleep.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line. But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain. Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast. Speaking of fast, did you just see that play? Yeah, he vaporized that ball. That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
Near perfect October weather as we go through our Thursday afternoon. Sunshine 73. Tonight, clear skies, a quick drop into the 60s. Sweater weather is back. It's chilly overnight, 47. Friday, sunshine in control, 78. 58 Friday night. It will be a little bit warmer over the weekend. Saturday, sunny and 81. Sunday, sunny and 84. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The Annie Fry Show is sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Air Comfort Service is hiring licensed journeymen. Don't have a journeyman license? Air Comfort Service will help you get it. Get guaranteed hours year-round and more. Apply online at aircomfortservice.com.
Annie Fry, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Ray.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
For goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk.
The way I would summarize where we are in this moment is it's a split screen. You have President Trump with his historic achievement last night, foreign policy achievement with the peace deal that's been drafted for the Gaza conflict in Israel. And then you have Trump and Republicans who are doing many things for the American people, reducing taxes on hardworking American families and eliminating fraud, waste, and abuse in government and ending the border crisis and the crime crisis and now settling conflicts around the globe. And on the other screen, you have the Democrats, led by Chuck Schumer right now, who's making a mockery of the government shutdown. He was on an interview last night, reported this morning in Punchbowl, and he said every day of the shutdown gets better for us, meaning him and his party. It's stunning to me. It's tone deaf. Real people are being harmed by this.
That's the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, talking about the ninth day, is it, of the shutdown. And, you know, obviously there's a lot of partisan politics being played here, but ultimately the American people are left hanging in the balance while we try to see if we can get the government back open. We want to welcome back to the show Congressman Eric Burlison. He represents Missouri's 7th Congressional District. He is a member of the House Oversight Committee, the Freedom Caucus, and a member of the Transportation and Infrastructure Committee. Congressman, thank you so much for the time today. It's always great to have you here.
Anytime.
So give us your thoughts on, I'm not going to ask you to comment on other people's thoughts on the shutdown yet. Congressman, I'd like to know what yours are.
Yeah, honestly, Annie, like when I talk to constituents in the district, their response is keep it shut down, shut it down, and shut it down permanently. So if that gives you an idea where my district is. Now, when it came to this continuing resolution, I really kind of had a very hard time voting for it because it is Biden's the extension of his budget. But I think that when everybody's saying, "Oh, you guys should compromise," that was the compromise. We passed just as clean as possible extension of the same bill that the Democrats led and got through last session, just an extension of that. I don't think they have a leg to stand on. And what they're doing is the equivalent of if, after the Obamacare had passed or after the Inflation Reduction Act had passed, if the Republican Party had stomped their foot and said, we're not funding the government until you repeal those bills that you passed, that's the equivalent of what the Democrats are asking for. They're asking us to basically undo everything that we have done the last 7 months, and it's just not acceptable.
Congressman Eric Burlison speaking with us right now. I'm going to ask a question that I think on the surface a lot of people would just kind of laugh at even the existence of a question like this. Because I don't think that most Americans look at Congress and think that Congress is acting in good faith. I think most people who don't, steep themselves in the play-by-play on X or whatever their preferred platform is, because it's a hobby, it's an entertainment opportunity for a lot of people to follow politics, but for a lot of people, they're just repulsed by it. It sounds to me like what you're saying the Republicans did and what you did in voting for the CR as a compromise for you because you think it should have been better, but you were willing to do this to keep the government open. Are the Republicans in the House and in the Senate right now acting in good faith?
Absolutely. Look, the House, the CR that passed the House was agreed to by the Democrats on the Appropriations Committee. There were Democrats that voted for it on the House floor. It is already a bipartisan bill. And that, along with the fact that it is objectively a compromise by us just saying, we will extend your stupid Biden era, policies for 7 weeks if you'll just let us keep the government open. I don't know what. I feel like I've gotten some criticism for even going that far, but that's kind of where we stand. I feel like we have given them as much as we possibly can without giving up the ball.
So, I hear what you're saying, and I agree with that because I know that a lot of Republican voters across the country, and certainly in the 7th District here in Missouri, want to see dramatic spending changes with what the Congress is willing to approve and appropriate. The government gets shut down. The Democrats have not agreed to end the filibuster in the Senate. They need a few more. They've got 3 Democrats who've crossed over. Rand Paul couldn't hold his nose. He hasn't voted for it from the Republican side. But we find out yesterday that the Senate Minority Leader, Chuck Schumer, said regarding the shutdown, every day gets better for us. So my question, similar to the one I just asked you about the Republicans, are the Democrats acting in good faith in these negotiations?
No, that was a very self-centered statement because it's clear that he cares more about winning for his side and for himself than he does about what's right for the American people. And that statement is pretty damning. I think.
You think it was an honest one? You think Chuck Schumer said a little too much honesty there?
I do, and I think what he means by that is that we, the Democratic Party, wins, not necessarily the American people win. And look, I think this is the American people are sick and tired of having their taxpayer dollars go to fund a bunch of crazy, wasteful spending. I personally think that the White House should follow through with some of their plans to do actual terminations as opposed to furloughs. Identify the sacred cows of the Democratic Party and start terminating different agencies one after another. You could start with a few hundred, or a few thousand employees today in one of their sacred cow programs, and then tomorrow, find another program, terminate those employees, and eventually the gnashing of teeth of the left will get so high, I think that they'll come to the table. So that's what I think that we should be doing. The great Charlie Kirk, there's a tweet that he posted back in the day when we were in a government shutdown, and he said that we should use this as a chance to shrink government permanently by privatizing the TSA, privatizing the FAA air traffic controllers, abolishing the IRS, removing non-essential workers, et cetera. And I couldn't agree more.
Congressman Eric Burlison speaking with us right now. You're a member of the Transportation and Infrastructure Committee. Is that something that's realistic? Of course, you say the word privatization, and some of those lefties listening to us just fell off their chair. They'll get back up. They'll be fine. How do you privatize something like TSA or air traffic control?
It may have to be a bill that we pass, but I think the White House may have the authority to do it under executive order. We've put the money in place for them to spend. They could then turn around and say, rather than us hire the employees, we're appropriating these funds we're taking bids on contracts. So, but yeah, it's something that I think that this administration should be looking into. I sent messages to Russ Vought and his team, telling them that my district is excited. They're giddy. When I went to church, people are giddy about talking about, oh, you mean we might actually terminate some wasteful employees in the federal government? That's awesome. So, everywhere I go, that's where my district stands. I think that we should do what Charlie Kirk had suggested and permanently reduce the size of government.
I think the administration has the cojones to do something like that. How long do you see a government shutdown having to last before they say, okay, we're just going to have to make some of these moves?
That's up to the White House, and that's up to the president. And I'm really glad that he's held the line in saying we're not negotiating on Obamacare. The Democratic Party, they didn't put into this to make these enhanced subsidies permanent. They put an expiration date. This is not something that the Republican Party put in. But if you really think about it, Annie, what they're doing is they're holding America hostage, saying we will allow you to do a CR if you fix what we did with Obamacare. And I think that's just a ridiculous ask, especially Obamacare is an absolutely failed system that just the costs just keep going through the roof. We need to reform our healthcare system, not continue to fund this broken system.
Congressman Burlison, a question about that specifically, because healthcare is a huge part of the conversation. It's becoming a bigger part. The Democrats are elevating the concern that we have in this country with our healthcare system, which ironically is a Democrat healthcare system. It's Obamacare. The Affordable Care Act was a Barack Obama baby that we are still living under. They tried to solve something with more government, and guess what? It didn't work. It didn't make it more affordable. It didn't make it better, and we are stuck with it right now. I'm wondering, is there any reason why the Democrats would be using the CR to try to wedge something like this in at this moment? Because once the appropriations process, once we get past the government shutdown, assuming we do, the CR gets passed, assuming it does, are the Republicans looking to do something even bigger with health care in this appropriations process that they feel like they need to work on this? The Democrats need to work on it now.
Yeah, Annie, I hope that we are willing to do it. Whenever we were doing reconciliation version 1, which was the One Big Beautiful Bill, I was standing in front of conference saying we should be doing health insurance reform, private health insurance reform as well. And that was not that was kind of left on the cutting room floor. But I think that everyone acknowledged that something needs to be done. Where we're at is a situation where the Obamacare subsidies, and I think that necessity is a great mother of invention, right? With the extent, there's this demand, particularly by moderates within the Republican Party and Democrats, to extend these enhanced subsidies. Then I think that we should be, especially considering the fact that this is not pro-life, like. This money, there's no hide language in this. So there's no universe in which myself or a lot of members can possibly vote for these enhanced subsidies because it's taxpayer dollars going to fund abortion services.
Yes.
And so once you've come to that conclusion, then you say, okay, well, we're going to put the hide language in there that this money can't go towards abortions. That's at the very minimum what a Republican Party should be doing. And then once you've come to that conclusion, you realize, oh, we're not going to get any Democrats to vote for this. And so therefore, if you're going to do it, you need to just go back into reconciliation and do might as well reform the whole thing, And so that's where I'm at. I'm working. My team is working with other members of Congress who are healthcare experts. I have a background in healthcare, worked 20 plus years as an IT consultant for hospitals and then served in the Missouri legislature on insurance committees. And so I get it. And so I'm working with Chip Roy, Gary Palmer, Kevin Hearn to find out, all of these guys have great reform ideas on how to actually give patients more choices and let them take control and ownership over their health insurance plan, and make sure that these are more affordable.
Oh, man, I mean, that's a real solution is what needs to be provided. I'll read to you before I let you go. We have a comment on the YouTube live stream that is going on while we're doing this interview as well on the radio. They said the ACA provides insurance to people that wouldn't have had it otherwise. It hasn't failed. Republicans defunded it. And I just thought, I'd like to hear what you think about that comment.
No, that is a failure. I mean, at the end of the day, there is a cost to healthcare. It's not free, and you can't until you get to the point where you force doctors to be slaves. It's going to cost money, and that money is going to come in the form of taxpayer dollars or your out of pocket dollars. The Democrats set up Obamacare. They passed it in reconciliation without any Republicans supporting it. This is a broken system. I don't see how you could possibly blame Republicans for the failures of Obamacare.
And I would encourage, when looking into this, and there's a parallel conversation to have with the cost of college education, that we always talk about how to afford paying for it, but we don't always ask why things cost what they do. And we've seen the president and this administration, RFK Jr., working towards fair pricing for medications. I always wonder to myself, how fair is the pricing for hospital services? Like, if you always can promise that there's going to be somewhere there to write the check, there's really not a whole lot of competition on making sure that the prices stay in a reasonable area. And like I said, parallel conversation on affording college education as well.
Yeah. It's like, I always use the analogy, if you went to a restaurant and the waiter knew that somebody else who was not even at the table was paying for it, and the people at the table knew that somebody else who was not there is paying for it, then guess what? The waiter is incentivized to jack up the price to, the tab. And so are the people who are eating at the table won't have any, cost incentive whatsoever they will pick the most expensive things on the menu. And that's the system that we have today.
That's an incredible analogy. Very well said. Congressman Burlison, we appreciate your time. Please answer our requests next time we reach out to you, because you're a very strong voice. Having the Freedom Caucus opinion here on the Annie Frey Show is important, and we know you represent Missouri 7th very well. We thank you for the time today.
Thank you, Annie. Anytime.
Sounds good. Bye-bye. Congressman Eric Burlison, the 7th Congressional District Representative in Missouri, also a member of the House Oversight Committee and Freedom Caucus. Okay, take a quick break. Fred Feitz is going to be with us when we come back at the bottom of the hour. So about 10 minutes from now, we'll be with you here quickly before that. He's the vice chair for the America First Policy Institute Center for American Security. We're going to talk to him about this peace deal that has been negotiated that is pretty historical. And, of course, I don't want to count my chickens, of course, but this one looks like a pretty significant, major development in finding peace in the Middle East. We'll talk to Fred Feitz at the bottom of the hour. We'll be back with some of your comments on the YouTube live chat poll. Does President Trump deserve a Nobel Peace Prize? Let us know what you think. We'll be right back.
Some say it's a sign of weakness for a man to beg.
AirComfortService.com is the website. I want to talk to you about Carrier Cool Cash rebates and 0% financing that is available to you. Call Air Comfort Service at 314-513-0091, 314-513-0091. Do you need a new furnace? Maybe a boiler, a heat pump? Maybe your whole HVAC system needs to be replaced. Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation wants to take your phone call and help it make it more affordable for you. 314-513-0091. For a limited time, Carrier Cool Cash rebates are back. $50 to $2,100 available in Carrier Cool Cash on qualifying HVAC equipment. Plus, you can qualify for 0% financing up to 72 months, along with tax credits. Call them at 314-513-0091. That's 314-513-0091. And tell them Annie sent you. Find them online at aircomfortservice.com.
Let's go!
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of the health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Let's go!
up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Severe from Vicks.
Sinex Severe Nasal Spray.
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Severe instantly relieves nasal congestion and works 6 times faster than nasal decongestant tablets. The 12 hours of relief allow you to get back to the moments that matter without congestion.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Try Sinex Severe from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Don't get lulled into believing the IRS is getting soft. It's just the opposite. Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. We are being told by IRS collection officers that their higher-ups are demanding that they get more aggressive than ever. So don't ignore them any longer. Level up. If you have unfiled returns, unpaid taxes, levies, or liens, call the Lance Story Law Firm today and let us get between you and the IRS. We'll protect your rights, including your right to appeal or even your right to take the IRS to tax court. Remember, IRS problems are legal problems, and they need to be handled by an expert attorney team who's done it for decades. So call the Lance Story Law Firm today. We're local. Our office is right here in St. Louis, or visit Lance, D-R-U-R-Y, law.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm, the Lance Story Law Firm, 314-260-6120.
Choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
This is your chance to win a free basic handgun skills class from the Range St. Louis West. Mark Cox here, 14803 Manchester Road in Baldwin is where the range sits, and you got to go. This is ideal for beginners, expert instruction. They have it available in a women-only class if you're more comfortable. Normally the class is $135. You can win right now, therangestl.com/971. Again, therangestl.com/971.
If you want thick, healthy, gorgeous hair, then you need Hair Volume from New Nordic. Available as a tablet or delicious gummy, Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and NewNordicUSA.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
You're listening to The Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
There's so many stories of corruption coming out from the FBI. Pam Bondi has commented on several of these as well. This is one that really caught my eye, but it's not, there's too many big stories for this one to rise to the top. Ryan, I'm curious if you came across this, 'cause I don't think I've seen it. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe Sean Hannity covered it, but I can't watch a whole hour. From John Solomon's report at justthenews.com, then Vice President Joe Biden's team intervened in February 2016 to prevent the CIA from disseminating an intelligence report to policymakers about the perceptions that senior Ukrainian officials held about his son's business dealings, according to now declassified memos. The request that the intelligence community withhold the report from others in the United States government by Biden's national security advisor was, quote, extremely rare and unusual. The vice president's daily briefer told the CIA, quote, I just spoke with VP/NSA, so Vice President National Security Advisor, and he would strongly prefer that the report not be disseminated. Thanks for understanding. JustTheNews.com reports that this report, reviewed by Just the News, compiled the reactions of senior Ukrainian government officials to the December 2015 visit of Vice President Biden to Kiev. Now, that's the one where that's the famous one. If you don't remember what this visit was specifically, that's where Joe Biden says, son of a bee. And he's talking about getting a special prosecutor fired that was looking into what the company that his son was working for. Our own government, our own CIA, created a report that highlighted that Ukraine was like, this is super sketchy. Hunter Biden's relationship in Burisma, that Ukrainian energy company, where Hunter Biden was getting, what was it? Off the top of my head, it was like $35,000 a month or something like that.
Yeah.
Paid to be on this board. And Joe Biden's job when he went to Ukraine was to tell him to stop being corrupt. And the CIA report said, the Bidens are as corrupt gets. And so the vice president and his NSA, his national security advisor, said, we'd like this to not be disseminated. And they said, okay.
So this would have happened under the Obama administration. Then.
Correct.
Okay, so this is a known issue. Everybody acknowledges that this looks very corrupt or is outright corrupt. Everybody in Ukraine and our own government, our own intelligence.
The report compiled the reactions of senior Ukrainian government officials to the December 2015 visit of Vice President Biden to Kiev.
And so then was it Vice President Biden that stepped in and said, don't release that?
He and his national security advisor.
So his national security. Okay, so not the DNI, but Biden's DNI, the vice DNI.
In the aftermath of the country's maiden revolution and the Russian seizure of Crimea, Biden had been appointed President Barack Obama's point man to manage U.S. policy towards the fledgling pro-Western government. That would be the Ukrainian government. JustTheNews.com reports the document shows that the Ukrainian officials in the government of then President Petro Poroshenko, remember that name, were disappointed with the vice president's visit to their country for his lack of substantive discussions with their leader. Those same officials privately mused about the United States media's scrutiny on Hunter Biden's business dealings in Ukraine. So the Ukrainian officials here, they have this intelligence that they were all like, the media is trying to cover this, and they're coming to Ukraine. It says like fledgling pro-Western government. Everybody knows that Ukraine is a kind of a core of corruption.
Yeah.
And the United States swoops in to try to be like, straighten your tie, get these things right. And then at the end of all of this, it turns into Ukraine's like, clean up your own house before you come over here and start talking crap on ours.
Wow.
It's outrageous. I don't understand at all how you get to say, no, this information isn't something that we're going to disseminate. Keep this to ourselves. And then our CIA goes, okay. And they don't disseminate it. We're going to take a break. Fred Feitz is going to be with us when we come back. He's the vice chair of America First Policy Institute Center for American Security. And we are going to talk peace in the Middle East and this president's effort, his constant, relentless pursuit to try to bring peace to a place that I think a lot of us didn't think was possible. We'll speak to him next. Don't go away.
Hey, it's Bo Matthews, and Missouri Brush Control is helping landowners reclaim their property with forestry mulching. If invasive plants and trees have overtaken your land, Missouri Brush Control will mulch vegetation where it stands with specialized equipment that is efficient and eco-friendly. Selective land clearing like this can help you maximize your property's value. Enjoy your land like you've always dreamed of. Check out our website or Facebook page for before and after photos and videos of our projects. Learn more at MissouriBrushControl.com. That's MissouriBrushControl.com.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. And that's what you get with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With more than 45 years' experience serving its members, United Healthcare has plans with low monthly premiums that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage Missouri can count on.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how linking to the market is much safer than owning the market for your retirement savings. They're the official financial advisors of my show. Go to retirementkey.com. If you're trying to sell your home, there's only one group of agents in town I trust, Mark and Neil Gelman of eXp Realty. My friends Mark and Neil have the best system, options, and strategies to connect you to the best qualified buyers. 314-336-1991. Check out thegelmanteam.com.
Ouch! Checked from behind. Man, that's gotta hurt.
I'd hire Morgan & Morgan if I were them.
What?
Yeah, Dan, America's largest injury law firm. They serve up justice, ice, cold, law. Know what I mean?
I guess.
Their gloves come off when they fight for you.
Okay.
I'm talking a settlement slap shot.
Shouldn't we be talking about the game?
Yeah, Dan, Morgan & Morgan.
Proud partner of the St. Louis Blues. Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
When it comes to roofing, you can't go wrong with Corel Roofing. Mark Cox here. My friend Curtis Corel came out, looked at my roof, worked with my insurance adjuster. I got a new roof, new gutters, and even new screens on some of my windows. Curtis specializes in working with insurance companies. Even if you've been denied, He's often able to work with these insurance adjusters to find a way to get it covered. Here's something else Curtis tells me. With cooler weather coming, you need to be aware of something. Roofs cannot be installed if the temperature dips below 45 degrees. Some companies go ahead and do this anyway, but you're going to have problems down the road. So if you're concerned that your roof won't make it through the winter, call Curtis Carrell today. Carrell Roofing has crews with over 20 years of experience. They pay attention to detail, and they can work with all the luxury line roofing as well. Call Curtis at 314-222-9529. That's 222-9529. Or on Facebook at Carrell Roofing Co.
From Belleville to Bridgeton, 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
It's brought the whole world together. It's amazing. I've never seen anything. It's so good for Israel. I spoke to Bibi Netanyahu just a little while ago. He called. He said, I can't believe it. He said, everybody's liking me now. Meaning him. He said, I said, more importantly, they're loving Israel again. And they really are. I said, Israel cannot fight the world, Bibi. They can't fight the world. And he understands that very well. So it's amazing the way it's all come together. And it's a beautiful picture. I don't know if it could ever happen again. It was just a set of circumstances. Like, for instance, taking out the potential nuclear power of Iran. So many different things happened that were so amazing. It's a lot of talent involved, I'll tell you, but there was a certain degree of luck too. You know, you need luck also.
President Trump speaking last night on Sean Hannity's show regarding the peace deal, and there seems to be a lot of optimism surrounding this deal. Is this the one that is for real? Let's ask an expert guest on that. Fred Feitz joins us. He's the vice chair for the America First Policy Institute Center for American Security, a former NSC chief of staff, CIA analyst, and House of Intelligence Committee staff member. His book, An America First Approach to U.S. National Security. Mr. Feitz, thanks for being here today. It's an honor to have you on the show.
Yeah, Annie, good to be here.
So I want to give you the opportunity to answer a very broad question. Is this peace deal, does this feel like the real thing for you, the peace between Israel and Hamas?
I'm cautiously optimistic. I think we need to look at it in two ways. First of all, the president was asked an important question at the cabinet meeting today, and that was, well, in the subsequent stages, maybe Hamas won't agree to disarm. Maybe the other provisions for rule of Gaza after the war won't work out. And he said, our priority right now is getting the hostages out. Let's do that, then we'll worry about the rest later. I think we will succeed on the other provisions. But Trump has the right approach. Let's save human lives. These hostages won't be alive much longer because of the squalid conditions they're living in these tunnels in Gaza. But I think Trump has the support of Arab states and of Israel to make this work, but I still think there's some work to do.
So at that cabinet meeting earlier, Secretary of State Rubio lauded praise on President Trump for being the man who could get this done. And it's a consistency that I hear. Now, I know that President Trump likes to get credit for things. He often acknowledges that he does things and knows that the media won't give him credit for it. But it does seem like the president's number one skill, the art of the deal, might have come into play here. Why was President Trump able to get this done when other people have not?
Well, he made himself a credible mediator who was trusted by all sides. And let's keep in mind that where was the president's first working trip abroad? To the Gulf. Gave him a chance to talk to Qatar, the UAE, Saudi Arabia to get them on board. And he's made it clear to the Arabs and to the Israelis that although he's the most pro-Israel president in history, he will be tough on Netanyahu. He will make Netanyahu agree to some concessions that he may not want to make to stop the war, but he's also going to be tough on Hamas and make sure that it has no role in Gaza after this war. That's given him unusual support from the Arab states, and even the Palestinian Authority, which has been supportive of Hamas, which never supports peace deals, they're supporting this one, and I think that's why we've gotten so far.
So when we're talking about peace, there are different ways, I guess, that one could define peace, but essentially the killing would have to stop. And I'm wondering if Hamas has any other option than the one that they're being offered right now. What does peace look like in your expertise after this deal has been negotiated and is sought through?
Well, you're actually raising an interesting point. What are Hamas's options? They don't have any. They have nowhere to go. No one will stand with them against this deal. And if they decide not to cooperate, Israel will simply destroy them, and Gaza will be slowly rebuilt and will put in a new interim government without Hamas. So it doesn't have anywhere else to go. So I think this is a pathway for Gaza that is not a threat to Israeli security. Well, we can't fool ourselves. Hatred of Israel, anti-Israel Islamist groups are not going away. There will be more in the future. There will be more terrorist attacks. Israel has to keep up its guard. So does the United States. But maybe, just maybe, this particular threat will be neutralized.
So, in your expertise, we're speaking with Fred Feitz. He's the vice chair for the America First Policy Institute Center for American Security. The president made a bold move was that June, where he struck the nuclear facilities in Iran. Now, Hamas had received quite a bit of support. You said nobody's coming to Hamas's defense here, giving them an out, and a different option than the one that is being presented through the mediation of President Trump in the United States. Does President Trump's decision to attack those nuclear facilities tie directly into the ability to get peace done right now?
I think so. It showed him to be a decisive president and an unpredictable one. And I think it has sent a message to Hamas and to Iran and to Russia and to China not to mess with Trump, that he will take military action if he has to. It was an enormously successful military operation in which Trump changed his policy. He was not going to do that, but he gave the Iranians a chance. They refused to negotiate in good faith, and there were consequences, just like Trump promised consequences for Hamas if it did not negotiate.
So when we're looking at what this peace might look like, and of course we have to trust but verify, as one might say, as we go through the steps, 20 steps or whatever it was that were a part of this plan, I keep hearing you say, other experts say that, Trump's resolve, his willingness to follow through, not just use words, but to follow through matters. That makes me wonder, if President Trump is done in 2028, when he's done in 2028, I don't want anyone to freak out here, when he's done in 2028, and let's say a Democrat is elected, maybe a Joe Biden, Kamala Harris Democrat, God forbid, gets elected in the next presidential election. Do all of the threats that have come up and boiled up in the last 4 years, do they run to the forefront and become threats once again with a different leader in charge?
I hate to think about that, but I fear that would happen. I think Kamala Harris would have been so much worse than Joe Biden. And so many of these global problems were because of Biden's incompetence and indecision. Remember, his foreign policy priority, absolute number one priority, was not Iran or North Korea nuclear proliferation. It was climate change. And other nations were frankly laughing at us because of Joe Biden's silliness and incompetence. And it encouraged all of our adversaries to try things they would not have tried otherwise, such as the invasion of Ukraine, this horrible massacre that Hamas committed against Israel. American leadership matters. American presidential elections matter. And my hope is that the American people will realize this, and they will not vote in another president as incompetent on national security as Joe Biden ever again.
Yeah, absolutely. You are always voting for the commander-in-chief. We're speaking with Vice Chair, America First Policy Institute Center for American Security. Fred Feitz is with us. Before I let you go, I'd like to shift gears because that's a lot of the foreign front. But on the domestic front, somehow or another, the president is able to juggle so many things at one time. The securing of our border and now the implementation of ICE to try to remove illegal immigrants who are here, who are violent. They are getting a lot of flack for that in my home state of Illinois. I'm curious of your thoughts on the president's approach and commitment to following through on that campaign promise to say if you're here illegally, you're going to be removed.
Well, the primary responsibility of a president is to keep the American people safe. And with these far left anarchist groups like Antifa in cities like Chicago and Portland and New York, and in Washington, the American people are not safe. And I'm very happy. I live in Washington right now, considerably safer. I see National Guard troops on the street, in the subways, people going out to dinner again. And we know this is not the case in Portland and in Chicago. And, I don't know the extent that Trump can fix this with the way the courts are ruling against him, but he's certainly sending a message to the people in these states that their elected leaders are letting them down by not keeping their cities or their states safe, and I hope they vote accordingly.
Yeah, and I think, too, having paid attention to Illinois politics quite a bit, when I see the criticisms of ICE and how ICE is operating in a state specifically like Illinois, which is a sanctuary state, they forbid their local law enforcement to cooperate with the likes of ICE. I hear Tom Homan saying this all the time. Like, let us go to the jails where these people are being arrested and do our business there in the jails instead of having to do it out in the community. The J.B. Pritzkers of the world think that by protecting those illegal immigrants in the state, that they're going to be able to tell ICE to take a hike, that they can't enforce federal law in the state of Illinois. Do you feel as though the politics of Governor Pritzker in the state of Illinois are actually putting those migrants in more danger than they would be if the state of Illinois cooperated with those federal authorities the way other states are, so that those violent criminals could be handled in places like jails and prisons?
It's putting migrants at risk. It's putting the lives of the people of Illinois at risk. But the reason this is happening is that the Democratic Party, especially in Illinois, has been taken over by the far left. This is what this party wants. The people of Illinois have to vote out these far left Democratic radicals who are basically ruining your economy with out-of-control state spending and not securing the state and the cities. It's very simple. And if Trump can shine a light on that, I know it's really hard in Illinois because the gerrymandering is worse than any other state.
Yeah.
But if Trump can shine a light on that, maybe the people of Illinois will get together and say, we have to vote out the people like the governor who's really endangering the state's security.
Yeah. From your lips to God's ears, Fred Feitz, thank you so much for coming on and talking with us. We hope you'll come back because we know that both of these stories, the foreign and the domestic, are very, very big stories, and we've not found their conclusion quite yet. So we appreciate your expertise today.
Good to be here.
Thank you so much. Fred Feitz, the vice chair for the America First Policy Institute Center for American Security, former NSC chief of staff, CIA analyst, and House of Intelligence Committee staff member. He knows a few things. He's seen a few things. His book is An America First Approach to U.S. National Security. You can follow him on X at Fred Feitz. We're going to take a break. The YouTube live chat poll, does President Trump deserve a Nobel Peace Prize? I'm going to do a thing on the break, and I'm going to check in and see what the other news stations, TV stations, are talking about, because Fox is covering a lot of Nobel Peace Prize talk. John Fetterman is getting some play on the old Fox News today because he's like, yeah, why wouldn't he? Obviously, right? Well, let's see what the other folks have to say about peace in the Middle East. Do you think they're for it? We'll find out next. Don't go away.
I ain't afraid of no ghosts.
Home Shield Foundation Repairs.com. Please visit their website. You can learn about all the services offered. They'll also take care of your surface in your basement when it's wet. I guess I was kind of saying two things at once there. They do foundation repair. They do basement waterproofing. I've talked to you a lot about concrete lifting, the polyurethane foam that they use in a poly jacking system to level out that broken concrete. A lot of people closing up their pools these days. So if your patio or your pool has that uneven concrete, now might be a great time to address that because you're probably not out there running around barefoot at this point. We are getting a little bit more into sweater weather soon. I heard temperatures in the 40s. If you have a wet basement, storms start coming in here in the fall as the seasons change over. You have that pit in your stomach every time you see rain in the forecast. Get rid of that pit in your stomach by calling Matt Hayes at Home Shield Foundation Repair. 314-227-9636 is the direct line to Home Shield Foundation Repair, and you can talk to them about a personalized solution for your wet basement problem. 314-227-9636, HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com.
Hey, it's Kenny Wallace. A big congratulations to 97.1 FM Talk. 25 years strong as St. Louis's conservative voice. For me, 97.1 means more common sense. Here's to the next 25 years.
You've been listening to the very popular Wellness One for many years, Saturdays and Sundays on 97.1 FM Talk. We're happy to share that we've expanded the show to 4 times a week. Yes, 4 times every weekend. Saturday at 10 a.m., Saturday at 8 p.m., Sunday at 9 a.m., and Sunday at 2 p.m. It's the same great show designed to cut through the nonsense and provide you a common sense, science-based strategy for a healthy life. So join TJ and Aaron for Wellness One. Now 4 times a week on 97.1 FM Talk.
Is your car still under warranty?
No, not anymore.
My mechanic just suggested an extended service plan from Ox Car Care.
Ox Car Care?
Yeah, Ox will cover repair bills if anything happens to the car. New brakes, transmission, AC, or engine problems. Plus, Ox Car Care offers free oil changes, tire rotation, and roadside assistance.
Wait, you pay nothing on repairs? Ox gets it fixed? Free oil changes, free tire rotation, and free roadside assistance?
Yeah, you don't pay. Ox pays. Ox even has a 30-day money-back guarantee and is A+ rated on the BBB. They handle their claims from start to finish, unlike those other warranty companies.
The last thing I need is an unexpected car repair bill. I'm calling Ox Car Care now.
Call Ox Car Care for your free quote. 800-234-0633. Ask about senior and military discounts. Don't get stuck with a major car repair bill. Call Ox Car Care. 800-234-0633. 800-234-0633. Or go to oxcarcare.com.
This is Todd Krentz with Krentz Financial Group. For over 6 decades, we have helped St. Louis families and businesses plan with purpose and live with confidence. Selling your business is a major milestone. Before and after the sale, our role is to help cut through complexity and create a clear financial strategy focused on your legacy. We often coordinate with your attorney and CPA to ensure everything is aligned so your plan not only fits today, but continues working for you in the future. Your goals, our mission. Start today at kfgadvisors.com.
Securities offered through Raymond James Financial Servicing. Member INRA/SIPC. Prince Financial Group is not a broker-dealer.
Barron Mirror Glass and Door. Simply the finest when it comes to glass, mirror, and shower doors. Why? That's easy. Our sales staff and installation team consists of decades and decades of knowledge, consistently keeping updated on all of the industry's newest and greatest ideas, which of course means you get the best advice along with the best installation. One trip to Chesterfield Valley will show you why our prices aren't the only reason to buy from us. That's Barron Mirror Glass and Door.
Does President Trump deserve a Nobel Peace Prize? That is today's YouTube live chat poll question. Dale says, screw Nobel. Means nothing now. I don't know if he means Nobel Prize or Alfred Nobel. Who still cares about the Nobel? Says Doug. I don't know if he means the Nobel Prize or Alfred Nobel.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, just get a little bit more mileage out of that.
Oh, my
149. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Annie
Fry, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Range. It's the Annie Fry Show.
You know how I said when I'm feeling kind of good that I like to go see what the other news stations are saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a good day to do that, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
So let's just hop on over. Let's skip over CNN. Let's go straight to MSNBC.
Okay.
The lead story on MSNBC, biggest picture, biggest, fattest, boldest, blackest headline on MSNBC.com, right center, is a picture of a coy-looking Chuck Schumer with his glasses placed low on his nose, which is the only place that they ever are. Headline, Democrats may have just played the shutdown perfectly.
Oh, interesting.
Not that interesting. I'm not going to click on it. Do you want me to click on it? Simone Sanders. Remember Simone Sanders?
I don't really want you to click on it, though.
Simone Sanders, I think, was supposed to be like Kamala Harris's chief of staff or something like that for a minute. And she's like, I can't do this. And then she went to MSNBC.
Oh.
Where they all go.
That headline reeks of partisanship.
Yeah. Here's another one, top left. A President Trump kind of looking up to the top right of the photograph. Quote, we took the freedom of speech away, end quote. On First Amendment, Trump says the quiet part out loud.
They took freedom of speech away. How are they saying that?
Do you want to know?
No.
Other side of the top, so third column, the one furthest to the right, it's a video of a smiling Bibi Netanyahu, some people who look happy, and looks like somebody's pouring a drink, but it's a crowd of people outside, and Donald Trump staring, not in a happy way, but just staring straight forward towards the camera. Israeli cabinet voting on peace agreement as White House remains hopeful for larger deal.
Oh, so it's Israel doing it, not Trump.
Well, the White House is hopeful for a win here. They're waiting to see if it's going to
They're just
come
hoping
about.
they can kind of piggyback on it. Huh, okay.
Another headline, James Comey could be acquitted. Trump still got what he wanted.
I don't think he did.
Trump just used the shutdown to make ICE even more cruel. Another one, Democrats embrace the shutdown as a necessary tool in, quote, ridiculously abnormal times.
So they're going to end the shutdown because that's what they want to do. But when they don't, they're smart for doing it because it's the best thing.
And if you listen to Chuck Schumer himself, he said every day gets better for the Democrats in the shutdown.
Yeah, you did say
that. Trump is threatening to declare war on the American people. That's it. That's just a really broad statement.
That's the headline every day.
Yes, and man, I'm not gonna say what I'm thinking because it's just mean. But I'll just say it's a picture of Chris Hayes. I don't like making fun of people for the attributes that they can't control. It's not nice either. I'm sorry.
In light of the poll today, being does President Trump deserve a Nobel Prize? I looked up the wars that he says that he ended in a fact check. I looked actually at BBC and CBS and some others. BBC acknowledges that there are 6-7 wars that he has ended already in his first term. Here they are. Israel and Iran. That one we know is over. Well, at least for now. Pakistan and India. Rwanda and the Democratic Republic of Congo. Thailand and Cambodia. Armenia and Azerbaijan. Egypt and Ethiopia. I think we're actually past 6 now. Serbia and Kosovo. That's a lot. And those aren't headline stories. You just read those and you're like, aren't they always at war? Yeah, I think they are, which is why you have peace and you go, oh, that's like significant in that part of the country or the part of the world. Then I went and looked at Biden's, this is his outgoing press release about his accomplishments, and it is long. And I had to scroll through it quite a bit to get to the key accomplishments in foreign policy and to see, because I thought, well, maybe every president gets credit for, quote unquote, ending small wars. We just don't hear about it because I really genuinely wanted to see if that was true. And in his own press release, again, this is very long, so it's very extensive. Every accomplishment they could come up with is in here. It has one war that the Biden administration ended. And do you know what it was?
The war on drugs.
Boy, I wish we were right at time. That would have been perfect end.
Argue that I'm wrong. Prove me wrong.
Well, okay. No, they list that they ended the war in Afghanistan.
Oh, that's terrible.
That's the only one that their own press team lists.
The addition to that point, though, that you're making is that's the only reason. That is the grossest version of ends justifies the means that may have existed in American history.
Yes.
Is that they only wanted to say that. And God forbid anything bad happened. We're doing it anyway. And then the worst of the worst happened. And American souls were lost. It was a complete and total debacle. Embarrassing for the country, but far more tragic for the country. And it's also that minuscule headline could happen. Gross.
It says it this way, too. Ended the longest war in American history. It's so noble. That right after the words, because this is all foreign policy stuff, it acknowledges that new wars were started. It acknowledges Ukraine, but it says it in a way, of course, that supported Ukraine as it bravely defended itself, rallied more than 50 countries to stand with Ukraine. Later, it goes into the war with Israel and Palestine and that debacle of October 7th. But I really was trying to give them credit if they had ended
if
any.
It were due.
But it doesn't look like they did.
I'm really intrigued right now with the different worldviews that people have and the different realities that we live in. And when you look at the MSNBC homepage, you understand why some people are living in a world that they feel they're very truly frightened for. Just like peace is breaking out across the world, across the globe. And all you're supposed to know is that Democrats have just played the shutdown perfectly. Okay. 2 o'clock hour next. Don't go away.
Hi, I'm Bob Kershaw with Retirement Advisory Group. Are you worried about market volatility? Are you concerned your money won't last you through retirement?
Hi, I'm Tammy Kershaw, and as a family-owned business, we are committed to protecting your retirement, whether you're nearing retirement or already retired. We have a lot of folks that aren't aware of all the new investment choices that are available, which give you growth and protection from losses at the same time. Are you aware of all the fees that you are currently paying? We can show you how to avoid those fees. So come in now for your free retirement review and get a second opinion on your retirement plan. And just for coming in, you'll get a copy of our latest edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. Let us show you how to retire with confidence.
We are proud to say we haven't lost a penny of our clients' money in 39 years, and we won't lose a penny of yours either. Let our family help your family. Call us now at 314-993-9494 or go online to retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
RulerFoods.com. Shop for your groceries and save. Why not spend less on the brands that you love? Why not go visit that Ruler Foods in your neighborhood for the first time and really start to see where the savings pile up? The brands that you love, they've got those. Kroger brands, did you know Ruler Foods is a Kroger product? They've got Kroger brands at Ruler Foods prices there as well. Your cart's going to fill up fast, and you're going to be able to afford it. That's the nice thing about it. And when you're feeding, whether it's just yourself, you and your spouse, or a family of 6 like we are, Ruler Foods can help get the job done. Red or white seedless grapes, just $1.79 per pound right now. Avocados, 79 cents each. Big K soft drinks, 12 packs. 3 for $9. Save on Kroger butter sticks, 16 ounces, $2.99 with a limit of 4. The savings are steep, and you can learn about everything that's on sale in addition to the normal low prices by visiting rulerfoods.com. You can also fill a digital cart at rulerfoods.com and have those savings delivered directly to your door. Find your Ruler Foods at rulerfoods.com.
License number E2014A.
Hey, it's good to see you.
Dad, that's what Grandpa Rip always said.
That's right. 50 years ago, Grandpa started Grasser, and whenever a customer called, he'd smile and say, "Hey, it's good to see you."
Hey, it's good to see you.
It was his way of treating people like neighbors, not numbers. That's why we still say it today.
Green is always Grasser at GrasserHomeservices.com.
Hey, it's good to see you.
Mark Cox here. Let me introduce you to my friends at the Lit Cigar Lounge in St. Louis, where luxury meets comfort. Premium hand-rolled cigars, an extensive selection of rare bourbons and whiskeys and craft cocktails. It's comfortable for non-smokers, too. They have a state-of-the-art ventilation system. They have private lockers and live music every Friday night, perfect for date nights or business meetings or just winding down. Visit litstl.com.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-500-5000.
That's 314-500-5000.
All on the free Odyssey app. Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Near perfect October weather as we go through our Thursday afternoon. Sunshine 73. Tonight, clear skies, a quick drop into the 60s. Sweater weather is back. It's chilly overnight, 47. Friday, sunshine in control, 78. 58 Friday night. It will be a little bit warmer over the weekend. Saturday, sunny and 81. Sunday, sunny and 84. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The president's looking beyond Gaza. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News.
We ended the war in Gaza and really, on a much bigger basis, created peace. And I think it's going to be a lasting peace, hopefully an everlasting peace.
President Trump still hoping to travel to the Middle East for a formal signing ceremony after Israel and Hamas agreed to phase 1 of his 20-point plan for peace, beginning with the release of remaining hostages. Israel's foreign minister says his country has no intention of renewing the war in Gaza.
As Israel waits for the promised return of every remaining hostage, a sign that the agreed ceasefire could truly pave the way to peace.
We are committed to Trump's plan.
Israeli Foreign Minister Gideon Sa'ar telling Fox his government is ready to end the war on the basis of the U.S. proposed framework. He's praising President Trump for recognizing that Hamas could be ready to reach a deal.
He looked at it as a positive response, okay, and let's see how we implement. brought us to this point, so I think it was brilliant.
Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
The Israeli cabinet is voting on implementation of the deal. A senior Hamas leader says the group has received guarantees from the U.S., Arab mediators, and Turkey that this does mark a permanent end to the war. During a White House cabinet meeting, President Trump again defending a federal crime crackdown in Chicago.
Crime numbers in Chicago, they're through the roof, and I have a governor who stands up every day and tells us how wonderful Chicago is. Just a lie.
Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker telling reporters,
we expect the president to follow the law. Do I also expect that they will push the law to its absolute limit, maybe even stepping over the line? Yes, and we will push back.
A federal judge hearing arguments today in the legal fight over deployment of National Guard troops. The state calls the deployment unconstitutional and wants an emergency restraining order to block it. America is listening to Fox News.
Hear that? That's Mike. He took ZQL Ultra, so now he's sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. ZQL Ultra helps Mike fall asleep fast, stay asleep longer, and get the deeply restorative sleep he needs, so he can wake up refreshed and ready to conquer Monday.
Let's do this Monday.
ZQL Ultra. Not for colds, just for sleep. Really great sleep. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line.
But my throat has officially thrown in the towel. Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That fun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
On our bigger differences.
The Annie Fry Show is sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Time to get ready for cold weather and schedule your heating system check. Get not just your heating system, but your entire HVAC system checked for $19 a month with the preferred partner plan. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
Annie Fry, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Ray.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
For goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk.
Well, it's Thursday. Welcome back. Happy October 9th, folks. We're glad that you're here. Christmas is 77 days away, I think.
77?
77. How do you feel about that? Yes.
Pretty good. I like Christmas.
Yeah?
Looking forward to Christmas. I like this time of year the most, maybe, though. I don't know. It's close. I like December and October
Weather, is it the seasons, the holidays?
I actually ventured out onto the streets of St. Louis today, walked down to a sushi restaurant and got some food just because the weather was so darn nice.
Was it a restaurant? Was it a gas station?
It was a restaurant. They do serve gasoline for your car. No, I'm just kidding. It was a real restaurant.
You want to give it a shout out? Was it good?
Sushi they're all over the place. They're a chain, I think. I don't know if they're just in St. Louis or if they're
they've
elsewhere,
got them in O'Fallon.
but they're in this area. They're all over. They're good. They're better than gas station sushi, which is not hard, so it's not really like giving them a lot of credit, but they are a good sushi restaurant.
Where does sushi rank on your favorite foods?
It's up there. I'd say top 5. I like getting sushi a lot. I told Trisha the other day that one of the reasons that I like getting sushi is, well, A, I like to eat it, but B, it's one of the only times I really eat vegetables. So it's healthy. It's also a choice for me, because I treat my body as a temple. You? How do you feel about sushi?
No, thanks.
Have you ever tried it?
No.
Will you ever try it?
Mm-mm.
Even if it's stuff you like. So it's got all ingredients that you know that you're fine with.
Name some ingredients I would be fine with.
Rice.
No.
You don't like rice?
I don't like rice.
Okay, what if we serve some sort of riceless fish?
No. Don't like any seafood. I don't eat anything out of the water.
Oh, gosh.
Kind of running out of ingredients in sushi.
Yeah, because seaweed's
I
out
don't
of
think
the
that you understand that I just don't want to eat sushi.
I know, but I'm just trying to find some sort of loophole that I can catch you in to make you eat it.
What if it were Cheeseburger.
There's got to be a cheeseburger
I was
roll.
trying to think of something.
is.
I was trying to think of something. There is a cheeseburger roll, and it is right outside of Adventureland in
Those are really good.
Magic Kingdom.
Those are very good. You introduced me to those.
It's not sushi.
Do you like things that are deep fried?
I mean, everybody likes things that are deep fried, but I try very hard not to eat it.
I don't know how to get you on this.
Do you want to know what I eat most days? My breakfast is, what is the bread that I eat?
Ezekiel.
Famous Dave's.
Oh, no, it's still you still didn't get it right.
Ezekiel bread.
No, it's Dave's Killer Bread.
I was gonna say the killer
You
bread.
eat it every day and you don't know the brand.
I don't have a relationship with it. It's in a
I don't
bag.
either.
It's green and it's very whole grainy healthy.
And he's got big long arms. He's holding the guitar.
Wait, I think he has a red shirt.
He might, depending on which version of Dave's Killer Bread it is.
2 pieces of toast with real butter.
That's good bread, by the way.
Darn right, it's good bread.
That's good toast, too.
It better be, because it's not cheap.
No, it's not.
And every once in a while I come home, and the bag is laying on the family room floor, and Rosie has eaten it all.
Ooh.
And I'm like, you don't even know what you've done.
That's a little tap on the nose.
But we don't know where, because that's like mom's bread. That's my bread.
Yep.
And we get that same brand of bread for the kids, but it's like a white bread. To them, it's white bread, but I've said it's worth paying more money for the amount of bread that you eat to not be eating all the crap that goes into cheaper bread. So we buy more expensive.
Wait, you're not eating the white bread version of that? What are you eating?
The whole grain.
Oh, so
something.
you're just eating different versions of Dave's Killer Bread.
Dave's Killer Bread.
Okay.
Yeah, I eat those 2 pieces of toast in the morning, most mornings, and I get from Scooters an extra large iced, non-fat milk, sugar-free vanilla latte with protein cold foam on the top, no added flavor. That's breakfast. And then I don't eat anything usually until I get home from volleyball practice or whatever I have to do to run around. And 3 or 4 nights a week, I eat a grilled chicken salad from Texas Roadhouse.
That's a lot of nights a week.
It's a lot.
Is it a good salad?
It's the
Is it a big
best.
salad, a lot of stuff in it?
Huge with the best grilled chicken that's ever been grilled. Chopped red onion, eggs, a little bit of bacon, like little bacon thingies.
Soft or crispy?
It matters.
It does
really
matter.
matters. It needs to have a little chew to it.
I agree.
If I open it up and it's like overdone or sat for a while, I don't put it on because then it's just like kind of it's crummy.
It doesn't do anything for the
and
salad.
it doesn't have the flavor either. So lettuce, hard-boiled egg, grilled chicken, red onion, cheese, and Texas Roadhouse ranch, which is so freaking good, and they're homemade croutons. It's got a ton of protein in it. I mean,
are they crunchy croutons? Or they got a little give to them too?
Just a little.
I like that too.
Super flavored. This is the best salad you've ever had.
You're gonna have to get me a salad every single time you get one now.
I
guess that's the only solution.
I mean, there are a lot of nights where I'm the only one who eats out. Jared will eat the salad with me unless he's making something. Because we've talked about Jared's smoker, which is still doing fantastic. But he'll go out and he'll smoke everything. And I just am not eating that right now. So I don't eat it. So I'll get a salad and then he'll have whatever he makes. Or he'll make chicken wings or something like that.
Can you smoke a salad?
You could smoke the meat that goes on top of the salad. That would be yummy.
We do that.
But I don't know why you would go to that length for a salad. That seems
You're
a little...
smoking everything.
Well,
smoke them if you got them.
We don't have that kind of time. We try to make sure we eat dinner. Which is why
I understand that.
But the salad, man, it's so good. And it comes with some Texas Roadhouse rolls, but I don't eat those unless I've done a lot that day and felt like I earned it.
Let me advocate for something that you do, which is very rare for me. Toast as a meal.
I eat that every morning.
I'm advocating for something you do. I'm agreeing with you.
Yes.
Toast as a meal is underrated. But you do have to have the best bread for it to work. And my neighbor started making me loaves of sourdough bread from scratch.
Boy.
They're in the bread thing.
It's like their bread era. They've been doing it for 2 months, and every time they make one, they're like, "You want one?" I'm like, "Yes, absolutely."
Because once you get into it, you can't stop.
Yeah, and I'll pay them for it and everything, but I'm like,
you pay
keep
for a
them
loaf
coming,
of
man.
sourdough from your butt?
$7.
Is it worth it?
Yeah, because it's meals.
Do you? You don't eat it like it's bread on a sandwich. It's like an experience to eat the sourdough bread. Like it's the meal.
I cut a thick piece, stick it in the toaster, and you got to crank the toaster all the way up because it's a thick piece. And it sits in there for probably 3 minutes. Comes out nice and crispy, just on the edge, still on the inside. It's a little bit doughy. And I butter that thing up, and that is a meal.
Use butter?
No, I use crap butter.
So-
but the bread's good.
The bread that I eat is share this tab instead. It's the green bag. I don't want you to have to track me on this. It's the green bag of Dave's Killer bread, and it's 21 whole grains and seeds, 6 grams of protein, 4 grams of fiber, 130 milligrams of omega-3s, and 22 grams of whole grains.
Does it have any ancient grains in it? Ancient grains.
Ancient.
I'm just proving that you can't say ancient grains without whispering it afterwards. Ancient grains.
Ancient.
I don't care how you pronounce ancient.
There's no K in the middle of the word.
It doesn't matter.
What about the
Muscatoli.
ancient folks?
Just means they're old. And they said things a little differently back then, and that's the way I like it.
I look away from the chat for just a minute, and I come back, and Gus says Annie would be a real hoot at a fish fry. I don't know what that means. My grandpa used to have fish fries.
What do people do at a fish fry that you're like, now that person is really fun? Because I just go and eat. I don't know what you do.
Bread is definitely one of those RFK Jr. post him being like, stop eating crap, stop eating junk things, that I have listened to that, and I'm trying to find places where I do that regularly and trying to do better. And bread was basically, bread was the number one swap that I think I've done in my life, but we don't buy cereal anymore. And I love eating cereal. I grew up eating cereal for most meals. And we just don't get cereal in our house anymore because it's just completely, I've tried the healthy ones. They're not good. I have yet to find a healthy version of a cereal that my kids like that has more than 2 bowls of cereal in the box that tastes good.
Yeah, because they're like real skinny boxes with barely anything in them. That's one thing that
Charlie would get a bowl that fit the whole box.
Yeah.
And just eat
the whole thing.
Yes.
RFK said some things in the campaign, and we remember talking about this going into the election, that I said this multiple times, that if he can just fix bread, I would vote Republican even if I was a Democrat, because I just want to eat bread. And I haven't heard him do anything about that yet. He talked about that drying agent that started in 1993, that I've been trying to eat gluten-free for a long time now, and I think it's actually that drying agent that I'm allergic to. Because I get achy if I eat too much bread, but if I eat that good sourdough, it's okay.
Yeah.
I want him to do something about that.
I've got the ingredients to the bread that I eat up here. For the record, not only do I not get anything from the bread that I can't even remember the name of half the time, Dave's Killer Bread, not only am I not getting anything for any of this, I pay the price for it because I eat it every day. But being able to look at these different ingredients and see no chemical names in there, I've heard a lot of Maha people be like, you should be able to pronounce the things you're eating. So is that going to be a perfect science? No. But when I look at some of the other things that I used to eat, even the things that you try to eat because you're trying to eat healthy, and then you find out it's terrible for you. Like all of the things that they did to try to take out the unhealthy things that were in there, they replaced with unhealthier non-food things to make it function. And you're like, nope, that's not good for you either. And I do think that there's something to the fact that the generation, like my grandparents' generation, the way that they cooked, like the real foods that they used to cook, and you go back and you look at like if people were overweight, those overweight people would look like normal healthy people today. Overweight was tiny compared to the average size of people here today. I think there's something to that, and I think that all of the engineering, but I don't know. And I think I'm like so many other people out there right now who are, you're trying so hard to do the right thing, and everybody's trying to sell you something. Everybody's trying to persuade you. You're constantly caught up in the game. You're just trying to eat foods, not chemicals, and it's just difficult. And then it seems like in 5 years we'll find out everything we were doing now was stupid.
Yeah, it always changes. Can you pronounce? Well, you had it up there. It went away. Can you pronounce the word that starts with a Q on there?
Quinoa.
You can.
Quinoa? Quinoa.
That's a generational thing. You know that? I think people above us say quinoa, or they don't say quinoa.
I don't think the generation above us ate quinoa.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
If they say it wrong, it's because that's what the crunchy young kids are doing these days.
Yeah. Organic white quinoa, organic tricolored quinoa. And I also like these because it makes me feel like, oh, that's good old ancient bread. Cornmeal, organic millet, and organic rolled spelt. I don't even know what those things are, but they sound real.
The words are shorter. Does that make it healthier?
Yes, it does.
Like I said, I am not a scientist. I'm just trying. I'm just trying and trying to clean up the foods that I eat. And really the way that I found that bread was after reading, I read like 3 different articles that asked doctors if you're going to buy a bread, here are the 5, and that one was number 1 on all the lists. So I just was like, okay.
What's the best bread that also incorporates guitars? And they were like, well, I think it's probably Dave's Killer Bread.
Dave's Killer Bread. I was going to say Killer Dave.
You always, yeah.
Killer Dave.
You make him into a serial
Dave's like,
killer.
Whoa. All right. Ethan Sports and Local next. Don't go away.
Was it something you left behind? Don't you remember anything I said when I said, don't fall away, leave me to myself, don't fall away, and leave life lay down at my...
TheDiamondShop.net, located in Clayton. Give them the opportunity to show you the beautiful things, absolutely stunningly beautiful pieces of fine jewelry that they have. The Diamond Shop has been serving St. Louisans since 1910. It's been a while. They've been in Clayton for decades now, and when you shop at a place that understands the importance of listening to you, that's how the Diamond Shop can be around for so long, because they become the generational jeweler, a family's jeweler, because people trust the fine folks at the Diamond Shop. When you see some of the absolutely stunningly beautiful pieces, custom pieces that Tom can create, if you have a family heirloom and you want to bring it in and, maybe make a pendant into a ring, or a ring into a set of earrings, or whatever it might be to fit your aesthetic, but something that's really important to you that you've inherited, go start that conversation with the Diamond Shop and just understand so quickly why they have been around for over a century. You can become a VIP by visiting them online at thediamondshop.net.
Thinking about a bath remodel or swapping that old tub for a sleek, easy-to-clean shower? It's Mark Reardon from Michael's Baths with one question: what's there to think about? Michael's beats the competition by 30 to 50%, uses top-quality materials, and backs it all with over 30 years of experience. And now they're going to throw in a free shower door or $500 off. Schedule your free in-home consultation today, 636-775-0800 or michaelsbaths.com. That's michaelsbaths.com.
You've been listening to the very popular Wellness One for many years, Saturdays and Sundays on 97.1 FM Talk. We're happy to share that we've expanded the show to 4 times a week. Yes, 4 times every weekend. Saturday at 10 a.m., Saturday at 8 p.m., Sunday at 9 a.m., and Sunday at 2 p.m. It's the same great show designed to cut through the nonsense and provide you a common sense, science-based strategy for a healthy life. So join TJ and Aaron for Wellness One. Now 4 times a week on 97.1 FM Talk.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. A question I get all the time is, how did we become the largest injury firm in the world? We have over 1,000 lawyers in all 50 states and close to 6,000 coworkers. Our call center is on duty 24/7. You can reach us at any time at forthepeople.com. but the real reason is we won. A lot. When you visit our website, go to our verdicts and settlements. There you will see what our clients were offered and what they were awarded at trial. All those verdicts help us resolve many cases fairly and early. You see, nothing beats reputation. The insurance industry knows who we are. We even have insurance adjusters call us for representation because they know too. We've made it easy. On your mobile device or computer, go to forthepeople.com and we will get busy. It's that easy. Call today. Morgan & Morgan, for the people. Injured? Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
If you want thick, healthy, gorgeous hair, then you need Hair Volume from New Nordic. Available as a tablet or delicious gummy, Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and NewNordicUSA.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
This is the Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Hold up. Check it out. Sports and local.
Durfin Doniford's Dumpy Doos.
That's one of my
with
favorites.
Shannon McNard.
Oh, yeah.
Shannon McNard.
That's right.
I don't remember Shannon.
I think that was yesterday was just Dumpy Doos, and then Shannon McNard's was extra.
No, yesterday was Tickle Me Elmo.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it's all random now. I love it. It's a great setup.
Is it?
Yeah, it is. There goes the music.
It's
now we
gone.
must talk.
Go on. You know what is not gone? You know what's just getting started?
No, great segue, though.
Thank you. Not really. Hockey season. The
Oh,
Blues
yeah.
are back tonight.
You guys sound like you're faking something.
We are. I'm feigning interest.
You know what we're faking? Our love for each other.
Okay.
Yeah, we're faking having a good time.
The St. Louis Blues start off the 2025-26 regular season tonight at the Enterprise Center. 7 o'clock puck drop. And, man, I tell you what, I'm excited. I'm excited for what this Blues team could be this year. They finished the 2024-25 season in a very positive manner. A painful finish to the season,
yeah.
but
What was it? Did they almost make the play? Or did they? No, they lost to. Don't tell me it was a
You got
Canadian
this.
green team.
Not green, but
Canadian Winnipeg.
Yes, the Jets.
Whatever.
They're
the Jets.
they're
The
blue.
Jets are green.
Blue and white.
Whoa, Winnipeg, the Jets.
Thank you. Appreciate that, Ryan. Yes, they.
Man,
they,
I was crashing and burning this segment, and then Ryan just like ripped it right back in there.
It's what he does.
Put us right back where we belong.
It's what he does.
Rip it and read it.
It's what he does.
Can I ask a hockey question to the
Please
hockey
do.
fans in the room, which is all three of you, right?
Yeah.
What is if you're going to a hockey game? There are two questions, so I need two answers. If you're going to a hockey game versus if you're sitting at home and watching a hockey game, what kind of score do you want to see the most? In both of those instances, they might be different because at home you might bail on a game because you have other things to do and the access to do it. But do you want to see the Blues go win 8-0? Do you want to see a game where it's 1-0? Do you want to see a game where a team wins 7-5? Like what does a real hockey fan want to see in person, and what keeps you on the couch watching the game at home?
Close game keeps me on the couch. But
what about the score? Do you want 7-5 or do you want 1-0?
It could be 1-0, could be 7-5. Actually, I think I'd prefer the 1-0, 2-1, those real close games, because usually what you have right there is goalies doing their thing, and I love a good goalie battle where it's like, man, that should have gone in, but that guy pulled that save out of his rear end.
Ethan, at home, what about you? At home?
At home, I probably lean more towards high scoring.
7-5, 7-6.
Yeah, something like that. Even like 4-3 is probably my favorite hockey score, because it means that the goalies are in it. 7-5 like means that there's probably not enough like good goalie play or
defense,
good defense. But if you have 4-3, 3-2, there's enough offense, but it's also close to where all aspects of the game.
The goal is putting on a show too.
Yes.
Ryan, at home? Do you ever watch hockey at home?
Yeah, well, no, because we don't have TV at my house anymore, but I do watch it with my dad sometimes.
So if you're sitting there watching with your dad.
We have TVs, but we don't have TV.
You just have the radio.
Yes. I actually prefer hockey in person. It is the most fun.
That's why I'm asking you at home. You're sitting on the couch with dad.
At home, I want to see a tight game. I want to see, but Blues have to win regardless.
Sure, obviously.
So, Blues have to win. But I would say a 2-1 game is a really good one.
So you all are saying, like, well, Brad said he didn't mind a high-scoring game, but close.
No, but I'm
home.
the opposite in person, though.
I was going to say in person, we'll go back around. Ryan, if you're at the game, I mean, is there a point where you're leaving the game because it's so bad and boring? If you're getting blown out 6-0.
Well, if the other team's killing you, it's 7-0.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why am I watching?
But do you prefer winning 6-0 and just goal?
Well, here's the thing. I don't really care. As long as the Blues win, ultimately, as long as there's a bunch of goals, then I'm happy. If it's the Blues scoring all of them, great. If it's a tight game, it's back and forth, great. But it's a lot of goals.
So you want scoring and a Blues win?
Yep.
Brad, what about you in person?
The only way that I walk out of a in-person game is if it's like that I might walk out as a really big blowout where the Blues are getting blown out. But, that play, an 8-0 game where the Blues are blowing out the other team, that place is getting rowdy, especially if that other team's a rival. And that atmosphere is super fun. So
Ethan,
I think that.
In person?
In person, I prefer, close is obviously the first and foremost, but second would be any sort of Blues win. I tell you what, close games are always the most fun, especially when you get to the playoffs and like the anticipation for that first one or like that big goal late. You can feel it in the crowd. But anytime that your team is rolling, there's excitement around it. So I would lean towards close Blues win first, but any Blues win, really, I think.
Because I think I'd be, for baseball purposes, like if the Cardinals are winning 10-0 or something like that in the 5th inning, I'm probably thinking about other things that I could do. I'm a huge Cardinals fan and everything, but I might be more inclined to leave during a blowout for a baseball game because there's so much downtime in a baseball game. Hockey doesn't have that as much. But when you're at a baseball game and it's a 1-run game and it's 9 innings, I'm never thinking like, oh, gosh, how do we get this over faster? Which is what all the non-baseball fans are like, we got to make the game go faster. And I'm like, but what if it's good baseball? I want to revel in it. So I just feel like the downtime in baseball, which I'm more inclined to go see. I don't mind going to hockey games. I just don't make them very often. But I would feel like in-person scoring would always be preferred.
I think they need to make baseball games go slower. And I think that they need
more advertising, more commercials.
More advertising.
Yeah.
A lot more downtime. I think that, and not like entertainment in the downtime, just downtime.
Just down.
Just chill out time. And the Blues need to get refreshing their rivalries.
Go to a college football game, and like a big college football game is being nationally televised. The amount of downtime is mind-boggling. Mm-hmm. The amount of standing around. Because we'll watch, every once in a while, we'll watch the Notre Dame feed on NBC because they have it without any broadcast. It's in 4K, and it's like kind of background noise. It's so boring. At first, I'm like, I like this because I don't need all the talking and everything. But then I'm like, I need a little talking. There's so much downtime in football. Next story.
Just wrapping up on the Blues and just what to expect from them this year. This is a team that caught fire at the end of 2024-25 when head coach Jim Montgomery finally had the opportunity post the Four Nations face-off the international tournament to really sit down with his team and get a vision, put out a vision of what he wants and expects from them. They made a couple of acquisitions that really helped them propel them to the caliber that a lot of people were hoping they would be all season long. And they almost knocked off the President's Trophy winners, which is the best regular season team in the NHL. In the Winnipeg Jets came up 1.6 seconds shy of advancing to the second round last year. So a painful end to the offseason, but I think to a certain extent it has left an unease and a readiness for this upcoming season, seeing what a full year of the Blues being that level of hockey can be. They brought in a couple of additions, made a couple of trades this offseason that I think has improved them even more. We're going to get, we saw a glimpse of some of their very high-level prospects that they had drafted in the last couple of years at the end of last year. We're going to get a full season of a lot of those guys, including Jimmy Snuggerud. We're going to see Dalibor Dvorsky, some of these other guys this year. There's a lot to be excited about with the St. Louis Blues this year and what they could be. And it all starts tonight. Puck drop, 7 o'clock, facing off against the Minnesota Wild in the first game of 2025-26. Okay, sticking with sports here in St. Louis, there's been some rumors afloat here today. after a report from stick with me, Puerto Rican newspaper came out yesterday. It was either yesterday, last night, or this morning, where Yadier Molina was being asked about, what's next for him. And he is quoted saying, right now we are in contact with St. Louis to coach the Cardinals and help Ollie Marmol. He is still the manager, but I'd be there by his side. Nothing is concrete yet, but we are working on it.
Yes. I was afraid you were going to say the Anaheim Angels. I was going to come strangle you right here live on the YouTube.
Me?
I don't know.
What if this little
Strangle
paper?
Ryan for that.
What if this little paper in Puerto Rico is like, I know how I can get on the map.
We'll finally get on the Annie Fry show during Schmergelberger's Ethan Burt's or whatever this is called.
What was it today? Doniford's Dumpy Doos?
Yeah.
Something like that.
With Shannon McNard's.
With Shannon McNard's. Thank you for that. Well, Annie, how would you feel about that? How would you feel about Yadier Molina joining the Cardinals coaching staff?
I'm there. Let's go. Yes. It's an interesting thing to think about Yadi being the non-manager manager, because some people are like, what kind of ego? Like, he's going to answer to Ollie Marmol. Like, Yadi's not going to come in and, like, when Yadi was catching his last season, Ollie Marmol kind of answered to Yadi, who is the catcher. In some respects, it seems like he respected him and was interested in Yadi's his thoughts on whatever was going on at any given time, because Yadi just has that kind of presence. But like, a sensible look at this, in my opinion, is that Yadi seems to have a lot of things going on right now, and Yadi has sought to be portable. Even in his last year, remember when Yadi took some time off for a couple months? Well, how long was he out in his final season with the Cardinals?
Oh, he missed ample
Months.
time because he was the owner of a Puerto Rican basketball team.
He just seemed like he had a few irons in the fire, and he had alternate priorities, which were wild.
The 162 game schedule requires a lot, and it felt like at that point, Yadier Molina was ready to be retired.
Yeah,
is what it felt like to me.
Like, and if you're
it's demanding,
it's a super, super difficult thing to do to your body and everything. So I kind of understood it, but at the same time, it's like, where are you? What are you doing? So he's talked about the demanding schedule to be a manager. He might not want to do that.
Far greater than a player's schedule.
Now
Yadi, he was about as committed as any player gets. Catching takes a lot, but there's very few people that are there more than catchers are.
Yeah.
And the manager is one of them.
The work, yes, the work is hard. And all I'll say in addition to that is, in a completely not even comparable, and you shouldn't even say it out loud, comparison, I have been a head coach for many youth sports, and I've been an assistant coach. It is so good to be the assistant coach. You get to participate you get to work with the players, you get to be a part of everything, but the burden that you don't have as the head coach, if that's what's good for Yadi, that would be amazing for the Cardinals, in my opinion. So if he's in a position where he's willing to accept that type of role, let's go. That's what the Cardinals need, is that life back into the...
You said both sides of this really well. On the one side, you're thinking, oh, man, Yadier Molina, that's a lot of attention around a player as an assistant coach. Simultaneously, if Yadier Molina wants to manage someday, Ollie Marmol, I think, is a great manager to be around, to learn what it looks like to do it in that position, because I think that he does it really well, and there's going to be a lot for him to learn in that position. So I think there's a lot of benefit potentially for this, and there's also a lot of questions as to what the future could look like.
You're speaking to his tutelage.
Yes. I think you just wanted to say that word.
Do you just sit and think of goofy butt words to say out loud and then just put other words around them and say them out loud and then sit there and giggle to yourself?
Clearly no.
Say it again.
Tutelage.
We'll be right back.
You make me crazy.
Stewart's American Mortgage. He's the bagel loan guy. What is a bagel loan? It's a mortgage that you get. It could be a brand new mortgage. It could be a mortgage refinance. It could even be a cash out refinance on your current mortgage. And it doesn't cost you anything to go through the process. Annie, how is that possible? How are there no closing costs with the bagel loan? Stewie takes care of them for you. Now, you do business directly with Stewie when you call 314-324-4440. 314-324-4440. That number goes to Stewie, and you talk to him about your mortgage situation. You're looking to buy a new home, and you've had a mortgage lender recommended to you, and you're like, I'm going to listen to what Annie said and get a second opinion here. Talk to Stewie about what you're trying to do. If he can't help you, he's going to be honest with you. I've had those conversations myself with him, but in the midst of all that, I have refinanced twice with the Bagel Loan with Stewie, and I love my rate that's in the 2s that he helped me get years ago. If you are thinking about a new mortgage, don't make a decision with a lender until you contact Stewie and talk about your situation and see what he can do for you. Tell him Annie sent you, 314-324-4440. Google the Bagel Loan, NMLS number 226715.
Every week on the Moth Podcast, we share stories that are funny, strange, heartbreaking, and above all, true.
I myself have been married for 56 years. Unfortunately, to 4 different women.
It turns out the people I was looking for all my life is what you people would call nerds.
Follow and listen to The Moth on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Attention St. Louis Medicaid residents in need of care at home. If you need assistance with daily activities, you can receive in-home care from a loved one that lives with you and they get paid. Through Medicaid, Freedom Care allows you to choose who provides your care at home in St. Louis and they get paid weekly. Available to eligible Medicaid members in St. Louis. Call now to check your eligibility. It can be your daughter, son, a close relative, or trusted friend helping you with cooking, transportation, laundry, and other activities in your own home. You get the help you need, and your caregiver gets paid. Freedom Care has over 7,000 5-star Google reviews and is a leading choice in St. Louis for in-home care. If you have Medicaid and want to receive great care from a loved one, go to freedomcare.com or for faster service, call 314-597-1749. 314-597-1749. That's 314-597-1749.
Freedom Care, we're here for
Make the most of fall and have an outdoor space that you actually love that's built to last. Lakeside Renovation and Design builds custom decks, screened-in porches, covered patios, and they use these durable, low-maintenance materials like composite decking and aluminum railings. They're going to make sure you have the perfect setup so you can host your family and friends for backyard barbecues or just sit outside and enjoy the morning coffee even when it's raining. Don't wait until the spring to start planning the space that you want to enjoy next year. Start with a free consultation. Visit lakesiderd.com, lakesiderd.com.
You want to retire soon, but everyone keeps telling you to wait until you're 65. After all, that's the age that you qualify for Medicare and you're close to full retirement age. I'm Marvin Mitchell, president of Compass Retirement Solutions. In my new book, Retire Early, The 9 Critical Decisions When Retiring Before 65, I discuss proper planning to help make early retirement possible. When to take Social Security, what to do with your 401k, health care, how to maximize retirement income, and much more. Get a complimentary copy of Retire Early by calling 1-800-743-8510. That's 1-800-743-8510. Can you retire early? Call 1-800-743-8510 for your copy of Retire Early, The 9 Critical Decisions When Retiring Before 65.
Investments and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory in Missouri and Illinois. Compass Retirement Solutions is not affiliated with the U.S. government or any governmental agency.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-894-7722. That's 800-894-7722. Again, 800-894-7722.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon for Generator Supercenter of St. Louis. And you know, your home is your sanctuary. You need to take the first step to peace of mind with a free estimate on a Generac home standby generator from the #1 Generac generator dealer in the country, Generator Supercenter. We learned the hard way here in St. Louis during the tornado recently that power can be knocked out. But even outside of that, what if the power grid fails and it's 100 degrees here in St. Louis? You don't want to be that person. Get with Generator Supercenter of St. Louis today. Generator Supercenter of St. Louis.com. Tell them that we sent you along.
So the anniversary party is coming up this month. We are turning 25 years old, and on October 23rd, you are invited to the party. We're all going to be there. It's at Lit Cigar Lounge in Chesterfield. You can RSVP for free at 971talk.com/events. It is 2:41. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
CiviaLaw.com if you're looking to have your estate plan built from scratch, or even if you're having someone look at it again. They say that you should have it looked at every 3 years or so. Circumstances can certainly change over the course of time. New people are in your family. Maybe people who are in your family are no longer in your family. Whatever those circumstances are, Todd Civia at one of his 7 locations in Missouri and Illinois can help you feel incredibly comfortable that this is a taken care of thing. So when you hear about people losing their loved ones, a lot of times you hear horror stories about how there was nothing in place, and then you get into probate, and maybe families are fighting. It's real nasty. Avoid that. Avoid that for yourself, for your loved ones, and start the path down to go get your estate plan taken care of. Your trust, your powers of attorney, your wills, and they can turn around in 2 weeks completed documents from the initial sit-down appointment. That initial sit-down strategy session, free if you're one of the first 10 people to call 833-995-WILL and mention Annie. 833-995-WILL, helping you through life's transitions, CiviaLaw.com.
Built on backbone, not buzzwords. 97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis conservative.
And now it's time to play Is Annie Okay With This?
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. Trisha's in studio with us. Hi,
Hey,
Trisha.
hello, Annie and crew.
What am I okay with?
What are you okay with? Let's find out. Naked man accused of chasing Walmart employees around parking lot.
Ryan.
I work at Walmart. Fault me for that if you want.
Word is worked.
Did work, apparently, at a North Florida Walmart. A naked man was arrested early Wednesday morning outside a North Florida Walmart for reportedly chasing employees around the parking lot. So he did not work there. He was just chasing
See?
employees
That's what I'm saying. I got chased by a naked man.
The 911 call came in around 2:45 a.m., and when police arrived, they found the 33-year-old man in a wooded area near the store. He was taken to a hospital, and staff medically cleared him to be arrested and taken to jail. Annie, are you okay with Walmart?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Walmart's
like it.
fine.
Cool.
They're way too convenient to just completely write off. They're also close to my house. But Walmart is they've got everything. If you need to make a quick stop, that's fine. But I do think it's important to try to shop local when you can for whatever particular thing it is. It's just the convenience is hard to beat.
If a naked man comes at you,
Here we go.
fight or flight? Brad.
I need
fair
more
question.
information than that.
Naked man out of nowhere comes at you. You fighting or you flying?
I'm not very
Flighting.
fast, so I think I have to fight.
I'm flight for sure with a naked man.
Yeah, I'm
not showing my back to a naked man.
What's going to happen?
We don't know.
I don't know.
That's kind of the point.
Who else in this story is naked?
The naked man alone. That's it.
Are you fighting or are you running?
Am I with my kids?
No, you're alone. Comes out of nowhere. Naked as a
Naked
jaybird.
man.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Running.
Well, it depends if I have somewhere to run to. There has to be an exit strategy.
There's a bounce house nearby.
Now this got ridiculous. Don't answer that.
Bounce houses are dirty. So I wouldn't do that. I'd just get to know him. Ask him what his name is.
Let's talk.
Wear your clothes. It would depend on his size. I could defend myself physically. If he's naked, then I can see what he doesn't have on him.
A little naked man, but a big naked man.
No, I would run or kick him as hard as I could in his junk.
Mm-hmm. If he's a small naked man and he's wearing a green felt top hat, I'm going to catch him, see if he'll grant me some wishes.
That's probably going to get us in trouble.
Man arrested after decorating for Halloween. A Kentucky man was arrested on Saturday after he placed Halloween decorations on his property that showed fake bodies with the titles of elected officials.
Oh, here we go.
The 58-year-old is facing charges of intimidating a participant in the legal process.
It's Kentucky. Did they say which officials?
Now, it said District Judge, Mayor, CASIS, and zoning manager. So I don't know exactly who.
Local people? Like people who live in the neighborhood?
Yikes.
Yeah,
the
psycho.
5 fake bodies were wrapped in garbage bags and displayed in his yard. Anyway,
zoning official.
Yeah,
he's like, that's not okay.
Guess who won't let me park my camper out front? Guess who's getting a Halloween decoration as a mummy?
Annie, are you okay with Halloween decorations?
Yeah. I don't like the super scary ones, though.
Oh, man.
I was going past someone's house the other day, and they had was supposed to be like a corpse that had a hole shot through its chest, and it's just like a scary zombie-looking thing. And I'm just like, that's just disgusting. It's not necessary.
Where do you keep that the rest of the year?
Well, I don't. Yeah, the scariest thing in your basement would be the existence of that, and just knowing that it was down there would be enough to make me say no, thank you. I do kind of like the gigantic skeletons. I'm okay with them. And there's like a gigantic skeleton dog. Have you seen that one?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
I'm okay with those. I think those are fun, but
I am when they're leashed.
You looked at me. You turned your head at me with a smile on your face like a dog. Like a dog that just peed in the house and was like, you should have let me out sooner. Have you learned your lesson? Go back and watch that. You're ridiculous. I don't even remember what we were talking. Oh, you stupid dog on a leash.
Yo, you like the dogs. You like the skeleton dogs. Go ahead.
What else?
I don't know.
Do
you like when they have eyes? Because I don't, because the eyes deteriorate first in a real skeleton.
I already hit the button.
Should I continue?
I don't like
Close to
excessively violent,
Yeah.
gross, murdery things. I don't like people hanging from trees. I don't
Jump
like any of
scares,
that.
Anything
No.
that just like pops out.
I
Like a naked man.
We're getting pretty specific here. I like haunted house type of stuff. When was the last time you went through a legit creepy world type of haunted house?
I think when I was in high school.
How would you handle that now? Did you like them then?
I would use the restroom first. Then I would go through and hope for the best.
Would you? I don't really know what your definition of the best is, but anyway, would you enjoy going through that type of an experience now?
I don't. I think at this point I might, because I actually know a lot of people in the haunted house world in Chicago.
Oh my, he's connected.
I am. I'm connected to big haunted house.
Are in
I actually
there.
know
We're going through. I'm screaming like crazy. He's like, "Hey, George, how you doing? How the kids? How's
Yep.
the dog?"
Yeah,
love
yeah.
it.
He's the number one haunted house guy in the
Reunion.
country out of Chicago, and I've developed a somewhat adult friendship with him. That sounded weird. That sounded weird. Look, I meant just that, when you become friends with somebody as an adult, it's not the same
When
as
two
when
people like
when
each
you've
other.
known each other for a long time.
Weirdest brag
And you're into dress
ever.
up
And
and costume makeup.
and they have a really cool haunted house. So I actually think it might be cool to see what they do just from an entertainment standpoint now. But I've still never done it.
I am completely unentertained by that stuff. No thanks. Don't need it. Don't need the visual. Don't need the scare. No, I'll sit at home and suffer through Hocus Pocus.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind seeing some stuff with clowns, but not scary. Like just give me a nice, clean, big tent fun house that's
Circus.
not scary at all for Halloween.
It's just a circus.
Yeah.
Trisha, I don't know.
All right, do you want more? Should I keep going?
More specifically of what?
I don't know. Florida bar live streams its customer activity. Fans are glued to the Elbow Room, a Fort Lauderdale bar that's been live streaming its Boozy Rowdy regulars since 1996.
Wow, that's like ahead of the game.
I know. The bar has cameras all over that cover everything: the beach cam, the patio cam, the band cam, and the bar cam. Those at home can watch all of the activity for free with no sound on YouTube, and if they want audio, they can pay $2.99 a month. Annie, are you okay with reality TV?
I mean, that sounds like it's probably more reality than anything that's ever been put on TV is reality TV.
It made me think of, remember Wild Country, how they live stream the dancing? I know you were a Wild Country girl at one point. You had a
was
phase.
on every Saturday night on the broadcast of that, but it was not live streamed. It was filmed on Thursday night. And
It made me think of that.
played on Saturday night. And I had a group of church lady fans that would talk to me on Sunday about my outfit. Line dancing.
I saw you on the TV.
Yeah. And if I
That's
weren't
cute.
there, they would be like, "Are you okay? Where are you? Where were you Thursday night?" Reality TV is, I think, the biggest problem I have with reality TV is it stopped the creation of good scripted TV. Like it was so cheap that the grief to dollar ratio, how cheap it is to produce that type of television. It doesn't have to be really that good for it to be profitable in a way that scripted television, like I've been talking a lot about watching The West Wing, the ability for somebody who has an incredible writing talent to put together a West Wing-esque type of show right now that would feature a moderate, somebody who would actually speak the way the majority of Americans feel right now about issues. You could have debates. There's just in the West Wing, that certainly is a key thing about it that I like. And to prove that point, Ryan has been in Wiggins America doing the Democratic Party platform since 2000, which is pretty mega, honestly. That there's a normalcy that exists in our country about policies that don't ever get discussed in news, cable news, entertainment, broadcasting. That if you could have a scripted show that would feature what actually goes on in the business of our government, and it would talk about policies, and it would be moderate, I think it'd be really successful right now. But everything is reality, game shows and reality TV. Do you watch are there any reality shows you guys watch right now?
When you include game shows, my grandma, who we were going to visit over and over the last several months, we would just sit there and watch Game Show Network over and over. And some of those games are really fun, and they make you so mad because they look like they're rigged.
Let's Make a Deal is on in here daily, I think. If it was on out there before, there's no way that I could ever get on that show. I can't be that person that's on Let's Make a Deal. Would you? What kind of person would you be? Because if they're casting people to be contestants, you can't be like super flat,
normal,
boring.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that would be so cool a car.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. You have to act like.
Yeah, you got to go in with some sort of character.
Would you do that to get on a game show?
Depends on if the prize was big enough. If it was big enough, I'd go in. Hey, man, I'm the guy that's covered in fry grease. I'm wearing the same clothes.
Would you be able to be the guy that they would pick to be a contestant without them thinking that you were mocking all of the people who were trying to be contestants?
No, for sure.
It'd be too obvious.
There's no way that I could do that. Be like, oh my gosh, look, he looks like a piñata. No, I can't do that.
Brad,
I'd have
could
to
you
do
do it?
something.
Be the big goofy guy? No, I like to think that I can, but there's no way that I could be that person with the, all right, let's go. No, can't do that.
Trisha, could you?
No, but I don't think you have to for all of them. Like, I think you could be pretty normal and go on Wheel of Fortune or
I'm
Jeopardy.
talking specifically about Let's Make a Deal.
Oh, yeah,
Those
I
people
do
are
all that.
nuts.
No, that's... No.
You know what
No,
you do
the
have to
answer's
do
no.
for all of them, though? You have to prove that you will, in some sort of situation where you could take the money and run or keep going.
That you'd keep going?
You always have to say, I keep going.
I'd take the first deal.
I
Thank you
would
for
too.
having me. Goodbye.
Thanks for covering my...
$500, thank you.
Yeah,
You said
appreciate
you'd
the
cover my
gas money.
parking?
Yeah.
We're outside?
Right.
That's very kind of you.
Cheeseburger, okay.
Right.
Deal or no deal? Deal! Deal!
Sir, it's $15.
Deal!
Do you like reality TV?
Not really. There's so little of it that's of any sort of substance.
Yeah.
Speaking of naked guys, remember the first season of Survivor?
No.
That was kind of fun.
I don't.
Not because of him.
You got one more quick one for us before we do the poll?
Sure. California bans noisy TV commercials. Noisy TV.
Noisy TV.
Yep.
Are they just
Noisy
controlling the
TV.
decibels?
Yes.
Ah.
So apparently a new law demands that advertisers turn the volume down. They cannot be any louder than the content that they're paired against.
That's ridiculous. As an audio tech, you add compression to everything, and it makes it feel louder. It'll be the same volume.
They say that you can't do it anymore.
Nerd alert!
And you can't do it on
They've been doing that for years. California should know that.
My question is, are you okay with California?
It's beautiful. California is so awesome, geographically speaking, that they're willing to suffer that. If you want to know how awesome California is, look at what they're willing to put up with to be there. What is Illinois' excuse?
Yeah.
Corn. We got lots of corn.
Mine is
Corn.
family and deep heritage roots.
And corn.
We know you're trapped here. Oh, you're not? Oh, shoot. Now what do we do?
Crap. The YouTube live chat poll for today: does President Trump deserve a Nobel Peace Prize? Yes, not quite yet, no, or I really don't care. Brad, your thought?
Not quite yet.
Not quite yet. Ryan?
I would say yes.
Trisha, you want to weigh in on this?
Nah, not really. I guess not quite yet. Maybe.
She says maybe I really don't care.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't care.
Yes, of course he deserves a Nobel Peace Prize, in my opinion, but I don't really care if he gets one. It's not that big of a deal to me, so I'd probably vote yes in this. 266 votes in today. 8% of you said no. 9% of you don't care. 13% said not quite yet, and 70% said give the man a Nobel Peace Prize. Keep it here, The Mark Reardon Show on St. Louis Conservative 97.1 FM Talk. Next.
Gonna lose control tonight. What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon for the Doctors at Ophthalmology Associates. We call them the Doctors because they've treated more than 250 doctors, more than any other practice in St. Louis. So if you're looking for the best doctors for your best vision, it's Ophthalmology Associates. Doctors Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Brusati, and Andy Royer. Doctors Birdie and Malhotra are cornea surgeons and experts in the diagnosis and treatment of diseases of the eye. I had an eye disease when I was younger. It left me with a silicone buckle around my right eye, so I put my trust in Ophthalmology Associates to take care of my annual checkup. Maybe you're experiencing dry eye, allergy eyes. They can help. They can help with cataracts, macular degeneration, glaucoma, and LASIK surgeries. And if you're looking for the best eye care, it's Ophthalmology Associates. Make an appointment today by calling 314-966-5000 or online at youridoc.com. They have a great office location just west of 270 on Manchester Road. Again, the phone number, 314-966-5000. The website, youridoc.com. Ophthalmology Associates.
Sorry, Mark. HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com. My bad. Since the rain isn't coming in right now at this point in time, I want to shift gears when I've talked to you about the basement waterproofing that Home Shield Foundation Repair can do, and remind you about the leveling out of the concrete that they can help you with at your house, at your patio, on your porch, in your driveway, on the sidewalks, the walkways. Home Shield Foundation Repair can help you with that crack repair. If you have foundation settling, if you have bowing or leaning walls in your home, basically, if it has to do with foundation, you're going to want to call Home Shield Foundation Repair. They're reliable. They are A+ rated with the BBB. They have over 188 5-star reviews on Google as well. The people have spoken. The people trust Home Shield Foundation Repair, and you certainly can too. 314-227-9636 is the number to call. Matt Hayes, 314-227-9636, HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com.
You hear that? That's the sound of your business losing money. Legacy phone systems weren't built for today's teams. Quo, formerly OpenPhone, gives your business a smarter way to stay connected. Quo lets you manage calls, texts, voicemail, and contacts all in one place so that you can deliver a seamless customer experience from ring to... Need to take calls on the go? Quo automatically transcribes, summarizes, and highlights next steps from every call, so you never miss a detail. Need insight into what closes a sale? With Quo's AI call tags, you can instantly spot key topics like objections or pricing questions and use those insights to level up every customer interaction.